And swapping over, and hello everyone! Welcome to the Team Jacked podcast. I am your host, Remy McNeil. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Twilight Guardian.
Hello.
The defective Kaiser Shonen.
Hey, nothing defective about me. I came here first. I was prepared.
And joining us as guest host once more is I Know Nothing.
Yo, yo, yo.
Today we are continuing our deep dive into Unicorns of Balinor, Book 4. And Epic Master starts us off by saying, I am Atomic. Welcome to the next stage. Unicorns? Yes, unicorns. That's right, because you got your Sparrow second Talon now. Nice! Good to see that.
Good man, but at the same time, Celtic, double check your mic. People are saying you're low.
Oh, damn.
What? Come on. What? Oh, what the hell? Why is that? Did it swap on me?
Yeah.
Did my computer did a
Testing. There we go. My computer. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Swaps me over to the default.
You're
but
sure I'm the one who's defective, dog?
I never said I wasn't. Hey, and to be fair, that was the website.
I just realized I'm the only one without shading. Damn.
To be fair, you're probably better than the shading I did in I Know Nothing's book.
True.
Well,
also, what is it with that? Because you have it so that every time he speaks, the cover changes.
That's not
really
on
weird.
me. He has variations.
I made a point of it, actually. It jumps up. And
yeah, it's not a bug,
Billy.
it's a feature.
Indeed it is.
Thank you, Robert Glending. Gifting 5 more memberships to everyone else.
Woo!
Woo!
I mean,
Enjoy your custom emotes.
Enjoy the emotes, enjoy everything else. I'm going to enjoy the lovely read-through of Unicorns of Balinor as I nurse this drink, and celebrate my birthday, actually. So.
Ooh!
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet.
Everybody celebrates their birthday on Jacked.
Yep.
The Jacked birthdays, yes.
At this point, it's a tradition, so I think I might as well join.
I should just keep a party hat on standby for everyone that comes on to the podcast.
Yes.
Wait. When the next time it's Twilight's birthday, though, would the hat go on underneath the Digimon, though? Like, would the Digimon be on top of that, or would we put a little hat on the Digimon?
I mean, I could put a hat on the Digimon, but I had the Digimon with the party hat on last time.
I see.
I just had the Digimon on top of the party hat. Like in front of it.
Is this Raymond an imposter? No. I just had Scuff. What better proof is there that I'm real?
He is he with a scuff.
I mean, yeah, but it's like the least bad scuff you had in a while.
Wait, season 2 of live action One Piece comes out on the 31st of May?
Oh shit, really? Damn.
Well, guess we gotta catch up.
Yeah, well, as soon as the frickin' copyright strike clears.
Oh, right. There's also that.
Only to get another one.
Yeah. Netflix, as always, does not want us to have nice things.
No. And I really don't get it. Like, is it just that your shield wasn't strong enough?
Yeah, I should have raised I didn't put up the strong one until too late.
Oh, yeah.
3 more pieces of Teddy Bear Paladin lore. We've got Irie Alliance Scholar. Some bears make claims to be scribes, though clearly beyond the most civilized of their kin. They claim a scribe of the venerable House Phoenix to blame for their lost records. Now we're being roped into the lore. Oh no. Yes.
Oh no.
Avian scholarship surpasses that of Ursine Boar. We shall share our records of the Balinor insurgency. It began with the Stuffington uprising. The routine tax collection turned bloody. Oh god.
This
Oh,
this shit
Jesus.
gets serious, okay? And finally, after all this time, Tiny Bear Paladin is at least working on collecting most, if not all, of the freaking lore pocketed so far. So
Yeah.
we're able to look back at that. I haven't had the chance to catch up on it myself just because I've been busy lately, but Teddy, if you feel so inclined, I would recommend probably posting the doc in the comments section.
Yeah, or you could post it in the Tundra, where everyone that became a member can gain access to. I wanted to say there was more of a pitch there, but my brain is running at half speed right now. So,
I mean, yeah,
And
Balinor
isn't
has
it?
that effect on people. So
When isn't it? Wow.
no, that's fair. That's fair.
No, how to do them like that? What not? Why?
see,
I mean,
was
he's been
trying
struggling
to-
for a while, but yeah, like, I would not, I would not fault him if the reason why he's at half brain today is purely because of the stuff that we had to go through last week with Balinor.
Yeah, that's what.
And speaking of which, catch us up. Where did we leave off with the by fire by moonlight, which is a phrase that we've gotten all too used to hearing.
So, in the last 7 chapters of this book, Ariana has realized that she is back over the gap at Glacier River Farm because that is the only location on Earth that exists, apparently. And she realizes that she can't go back to Balinor. She can still go across the gap, but she can't go to Balinor. But she can go to other countries that exist over on Balinor, I guess, because there are other countries there. And then she realizes that she needs to complete 2 tasks in order to be able to cross the border into Balinor. Or else all magic will disappear or something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of vague on why they can't get back into Balinor. It just,
Right.
oh, you can't. It's like, okay, I guess.
No, see, Raymond, you know what? Some of those walls in freaking video games, those invisible walls, that's the plot. That's plot shielding. I'm sorry. They're
Okay,
not
you just
allowed
need
to
a
go
fully
beyond
charged
it.
Master Sword and you can cut right through that.
True.
True.
If
Depends on
only
the
they
game.
had a magical scepter or something that could help them.
Yeah, if only they had something like that.
And at least 3
Yep.
pieces of the 4 pieces of the magical unicorn
One
horn, but
that-
no one knows where that came from.
One that apparently a scepter that has magic from the old gods inside of it. We need mention that. Like, it has elder magic or whatever, which is considered the most powerful and ancient kind of magic in this setting. Yeah, it would be great if it, like, could be used for anything more than a glorified flashlight and a frickin' magic 8-ball.
Yep. And that's currently what it's being used for. It is a glorified magic 8-ball at the moment. And also, they made it back to the Valley of Fear, met up with Lincoln, who was still there, and it's been revealed that they were gone for 2 whole weeks, even though that they were there for 15 minutes.
Oh, reminder. The old mayor of the mountain just decides not to tell everybody important information.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
In other words, in other news, water is wet. Also, yes,
411.
Billy, if only they had access to donuts. If only.
If only.
They make it out of the Valley of Fear. Atlanta gives them access to the Dawnwalker and Captain Treadwell, because how else are they going to get around anywhere? Because it's been 2 weeks and he was only going to stick around for 3 days, but we still need him. So, of course, she just magics him back over there.
Yeah,
they make
Lord
it
knows you ever present a character with any kind of trouble they need to actually get themselves out of. Lord knows you can't do that.
Yeah, nope. And now she's presented with the first of the challenges, the trial by fire, after she is gifted a paper with a drawing of a diseased rose.
Not to be confused with the ordeal of Moonlight, though.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, it's different.
Totally.
But now that we have finally gotten to the place where she knows what one of the trials is, we're on to the interesting half of the book.
I was going to say, like, you guys claim that this was the best of the books.
It is.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that part.
But like for the first 7 of this, we've been told there are 2 challenges she must face. There are 2 challenges she must face. There are 2 challenges, and we literally, it was like every other page. It felt like we were being told, yes, you have 2 challenges, and never told what they are. And then finally, we've been told what one of them is. Sort of. It's been implied that it is, or they presume that it's this one, where it's like a race, I guess, in a hostile country of some sort.
Yes. The shifter controls this country.
Right.
Yeah, I think the zeroth challenge was just the endurance test of just having to stand everybody hinting at the first and second challenges and never telling us.
That was our challenge.
I mean,
we got our own separate subsect of challenges, all right? That's for us
the
to
jacked challenge.
The jacked
Yes.
challenge.
That is why we are jacked.
It is questionable which is harder, this challenge or the movie Bob challenge.
Probably the movie Bob, honestly. We can get through this. I can't get through the movie Bob challenge.
Yeah, no. I mean, in terms of the pacing of these books, all of them are structured like this. Do you remember, like, the first book where half of it was her just lying in the hospital bed or recovering, and we don't even meet Lori and get the fundamental conflict of the book until Lori shows up halfway through the book? And then in the second book, half of that is just getting to the town of Balinor and then meeting up with the characters that are in Balinor.
I mean, basically,
and then,
the first half of every single book is a mediocre back summary of the previous book, and then we finally get to the plot halfway in, which like then happens at like lightning speed.
Yep, and it's broken up by complete filler with Atalanta.
Yep.
Aiden, we need to start a drink game when Celtic Reads shout. No. Whatever
You
game you
want me
think
to
of.
die?
We'll all die.
Ain't no way.
Yeah, no, we'll all die with that.
I don't think any of us will survive that.
Jack
Anyway.
challenge, do 1 push-up for every brain cell lost reading this. I mean, yes.
Anyway, sorry for my struggling to recall what happened in the other books. It has been several months at this point.
And there's not
No,
much
you're
to
fine.
remember.
Yeah. Anyway, Chapter 8. Deridia was a town of despair and decay. The sun was a hot bronze hammer on the flat water of the harbor. Garbage floated on the tide, and the air was hazy with the smoke from slow-burning pits of coal. The Dawn Walker was able to sail right up to the dock. As Captain Treadwell said, the only advantage the dried-up city had was its deep-water harbor.
Dried up, deep water.
Yep.
That said, I actually quite like that description.
Yes, it was very good. So, we are now in a new kingdom. We don't know what the kingdom is, but we know the town is called Deridia. Possibly the town of Deridia is in the kingdom of Deridia. Who knows?
I wouldn't be surprised if that's just how it works.
Yeah. And now they're getting off the boat and looking at the people who live here. Tired-looking men and women drag themselves around the streets. Most simply sat, their backs against the walls, and gazed at the Dawnwalker with incurious eyes. Except for the soldiers who rode black unicorns through the cobblestone streets. They were not the unicorns of the Shadow Herd from the fiery field, but sad brothers to the unicorns of Balinor. They were Chase's subjects, or had been, before the shifter had subjected them. They moved as if they were old, tired, dispirited slugs, their hard iron hooves clattering mournfully. The soldiers who rode them were full of energy and menace. So, hang on. They're black unicorns with iron hooves, but they are different from the Shadow Herd, which are also black with iron hooves.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Wait, these supposed to be different? Oh my!
They did just say that they were different, and
Yeah.
You see,
okay.
You see, one has their coats are black in the blue spectrum, while the others are black in the red spectrum.
bro. Okay.
Oh.
Is this like is that it's like dark blue versus coal?
Yes,
Like
exactly.
that
Something
kind
like
of
that.
difference.
Like, if these unicorns had anything other than iron hooves, I wouldn't have thought anything different from it. But she specifically said iron hooves.
Maybe they
And I
just
think
all
that-
have iron hooves. Totally.
That's the first time I actually caught that of all
Oh,
of my
wow.
read-throughs, I think.
you dude, this one slipped through the cracks, okay? The iron
Apparently,
hooves
yeah.
slipped through.
So,
Oh, what Digimon is
there
on
are
your
posters. Oh, Lord Bloomon still from last week.
Ah.
I figured that I would just have Lord Bloomons to stay on my head instead of having a different Digimon because it's a two-parter.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to make him feel left out. You know?
So they find some posters that are hung up on the walls. And Ari asks if Chase can read them. Because of course horses can read.
sure.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
why
like,
not?
Ari, you have your memories back. Shouldn't you be able to read?
What? Yeah.
No.
I think that she was always able to read, but like I think that this is a matter of distance and she's just too lazy to go nearer to the posters.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
I just want the has anyone seen iRobot in the final scene where it's just the main robot just looks directly at the camera and says no, in the most deadpan expression.
Okay, that's another clip for videos I'm gonna take. Thank you, I know nothing. I appreciate
Oh, it's
your
glorious!
contribution.
I'll send it your way in a second.
The posters announce the competition. Tomorrow morning, on the west side of this place. The course begins at the town hall and fans out towards those low mountains. It seems to be through the burned-out coal mines. Does it say that this is the first challenge? Lori asked. She squinted. I can barely see the letters. No, Chase said. Merely that this is a race for the honor and glory of Entia, the shifter.
Our enemy?
Indeed.
I was gonna say it, but I was too busy looking for a video. God damn it! How dare you, Kaiser? You made me miss my meme.
Hey, listen, you have to listen with your ears, dog.
Nah,
He's
I don't
a
have
wolf.
those.
He doesn't have any.
I don't have those.
Well, you don't need. Well, you don't have eyes or arm either, but
He has
you're able to
eyes.
Hey, he
use.
does. He has
you.
those big googly eyes.
Dang, man. These are 20/20
Okay, but where's
vision.
your googly arms? How are you able to use the fucking internet?
Magic? I don't gotta explain shit.
Apparently, this story doesn't either. So yeah, we're in the
Uh-huh.
right.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
It demands that challengers register at the with the town clerk. We had better do that then, Ares said with a sigh. So, we are now getting into the process of signing up for the race.
I mean,
And
some
then-
people instantly know who she is, and chases, a bunch of other stuff.
Okay,
You
but
think?
like you had active resistance members that supposedly had helped her go across the gap and also went across the gap to lay the pieces of Chase's horn down for her to find, and supposedly had seen her walking around, and still he didn't recognize her.
Yep.
Of course not.
What makes you think that these people who live in a separate country from Balinor, who have probably never seen the Princess of Balinor directly, would recognize the Princess of Balinor?
I don't know. Stupider shit has happened in this book, and you know it has.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep, still waiting for that good part.
So, because Ari needs to be told everything, she asks the Scepter. Scepter, am I to enter this race as Ariana, Princess of Balinor? The Scepter's blue light was thin and pale in this harsh land. No, the Scepter said bluntly. Then who am I? Your throne is in jeopardy, the Scepter said crossly. And there are enemies all around you. The challenges are known to you and your closest advisors, and to the Shifter and his intimate circle. You have two options, Lori groaned. 1. Appear as your true self, Ariana, Princess of Balinor, bonded to His Majesty the Sun Chaser. The odds are 2 to 1 that some follower of Entia will try to poison you in your bed tonight. Entia has taught them to fear you. Or 2, appear as Ari, friend of the people with the last of the royal unicorns from the House of Balinor's stables. No ordinary person can win against the Shifter's forces, so you'll be spared because they will want to see the humiliation of your defeat. Nice people, Lori commented.
I hate that she's even, like, why would you... Just asking the question should answer the question for you. Am I to enter this race as Ariana, Princess of Balinor? No!
I
Why
do
would
appreciate
you?
I appreciate that the author is using the staff as just the common sense stick. Because clearly the characters can't figure this fucking out on their own.
Well, on the flip side, the characters should have fucking common sense. You know what would be great for this kind of thing? Is if she was recognizable and you had to have someone else be in her stead. Like Lori. Lori actually take place with Sun Chaser, and like you get some dynamic going between them, because that would be just more interesting than having Ari do all these tasks successfully.
Yep. You know, actually get the cast to contribute or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that is true, but I can see why it has to be Ari that has to do it, because she is the one that brought the scepter over the gap, not Lori.
And which is fair.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it is a magical trial, so trying to circumvent it anyway probably will cause issues.
Yeah. But
that being said, though, they don't bring him up.
Thought about like this guy, you know, keeping up the disguise and not fucking yelling out from the rooftops that she's the fucking princess.
You really want to trust Lori to do anything, though? I honestly, with this author, I don't trust anyone to do anything. I just presume that the plot's going to work out in their favor somehow.
Don't worry about that.
Who is dumber, Ariana or Sith Resurgence Rey? Oh. Probably Ariana.
I feel like Rey's dumber, right?
Nah, I feel like Ariana.
Guys, discuss.
Discuss it.
Ariana has to talk to a fucking walking stick to get her advice.
Okay, but counterpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Rey's into Lily's self-insert.
Fuck.
Well, okay, first off, you can't blame Rey for that as a character. You blame that entirely on the author. Like, she has no chance.
We're speaking... They was specifically Rey from that story, so we have to presume the author already.
Yeah, not the alternate, not the real Rey, the fake Rey that Lily made up in her head.
Right.
The sex doll Rey. That's what she's true purposes.
The blow up doll of Daisy Ridley that fucking Lily has in the room.
Oh Jesus!
Jesus!
Oh, we all look. Michaela watches from the corner.
Warn a guy when he's going to take a drink, why don't you?
Oh. And that's what Michaela says at the end. So, no, oh god. I still want to say Ariana because she's also a kid. I think ultimately she's dumber.
Yeah, but that's also not as much her fault as it is Ray's, because
Yeah,
Ray
if
is
anything,
at least
that's an excuse.
adult. Yeah. It's a valid excuse. She's dumber because she's a kid.
Yeah, well, the question wasn't by qualifier. We're just trying to gauge overall. The fact that Ray's even in the running, though, should say something.
True.
Well, that's another 9 months in therapy for me. Thanks. You're welcome.
Anytime, buddy.
We're glad to keep the industry going.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, they really need all the help they can get.
I'll be getting the kickback soon.
She keeps it next to the carnivore pillow.
Oh my god.
Captain Treadwell is no longer needed, so he is going to exit the story for now.
Exit stage.
Dry deep water,
I guess.
Dry deep water, yep.
Dry deep water, yeah.
We will not leave you, Your Royal Highness, Captain Treadwell said. He stood at the helm of the Dawnwalker, his eyes keen in his deeply tanned face. You must, if something happens to Chase or me, Aerie said softly. I command it. He looked at her sadly. I hear and obey, Your Royal Highness.
We will not leave you. Yes, you will. Okay, then.
Sure.
Yeah.
It'd be funnier if it was like, this guy clearly was like, I have a sense of obligation, but I really don't want to be here. It's like, we cannot leave you, princess. Leave us. Don't have to ask twice. He's just like super casual about it.
What's that one Deadpool joke of like, Wade, I'd go with you, but I don't want to.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
So apparently they were on the boat the whole time. I thought that they were like actually in the town, but I read this last week and was just like skimming through it. Well, not skimming through it, but I was mostly looking for places to...
So wait, Chase was fucking laser visioning the fucking poster from the side of the boat. I don't guess so. Horses don't have that good a vision.
No. I just imagine it like Chase, like the full front of his body is over the edge of the like boat, and he's just like standing and just like laser.
No. His neck just extends all the way down.
That's why he's the sun chaser.
Yeah.
His neck can chase the sun.
Yeah, like he's in a car too. He's just extending and squinting his eyes.
More Teddy lore. Teddy scribe. The harvest had been rough that year. The Clawville riots were fresh in our minds. The financial troubles struck across Balinor. Anger festered. All we needed was a spark. You're going full Andor on us.
Oh boy!
Yeah, I'm about to say this is some Tea Party type shit.
They walked through the streets of Deridia, seeing the poverty, the dirt, and the despair. We must save them from this, milady, Chase thought at her. The Shifter's army set the coal mines on fire when they attacked this place. No one has been able to put them out. We must overcome the first challenge, she responded, and the second. Then we will sweep all of this before us and restore happiness to this place.
No, you're fucking not. Coal fires. There is a coal fire in Pennsylvania they still haven't managed to fucking put out, all right?
Isn't it called the Mouth of Hell?
Yeah, it's called the Mouth of Hell, and it still hasn't stopped burning. They can't. There is no way to stop it. Like, I think the best idea they had was to blow it up, but that would actually, like, damage the surrounding area too much to actually attempt.
Mm.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Centralia, Pennsylvania. Thank you, Robbie. Any details on these challenges yet? Race. That's the first one.
It's a nice race, I guess.
It's a race.
Cool.
So they find themselves an inn and go and register with the innkeeper. The innkeeper and his wife were as quiet and repressed as the rest of the people she'd seen in Deridia. The innkeeper's name was Sultan. He was a compact man with a powerful build with the powerful build of a blacksmith. His wife Sola was solemn. Her hair was wrapped neatly in a kerchief, and she kept her hands folded and her head down as Ari asked for one room and a large stall for Chase.
And then this man named Daedrin walked in and started talking about how they needed a matriarchal society.
Well, I was gonna say, of course, her head is down. Ari's like 12. She has to be shorter, right?
Guys, I can see the Teddy lore, but we're trying to get through the book.
I guess we
there's
missed
more. Jesus Christ!
We
Don't
got
spoil
two more
us
in as many minutes.
in one session.
Teddy scribed. Then it came to the Royal Balinor collection forces. They were thugs demanding tribute we could not meet. One brave Teddy stood up to them, stuffing and blood flowed.
Wow.
Followed.
And then CBS. I can't remember which CBS is. Records are muddled. This is the scribe. No. Records are muddied on who struck first. It's clear that the RBCF was routed from Stuffington, losing collected tithe in the chaos. The royal governor was expelled with them. All right, Teddy Bear Paladin, slow down on the lore. Okay, I can't pause every 5 minutes to read.
Give yourself a timer of like a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, hey CBF. Damn, I've been here in a hot minute. And damn near everyone got redesigns. Yeah, dude, we updated, bro.
Yeah. Except for me. I just changed the position of one of my hands. So Sola asks where Ari is from. We have traveled from Sixton, Ari said truthfully, for the prize money. My family is kin to the 5th house, but my father lost his fortune during the time of the Great Betrayal, Sola said in a low voice. We call it the time of triumph here, her husband growled, by his orders. You mean the shifter, Ari said casually. Sola pressed the key. Sola pressed the key to her room into Ari's hand. May the dream speaker go with you, she whispered. Sola, her husband said, do not speak that blessed name aloud. It is against the law.
The blessed name allowed. Not cursed name or anything else. It's against the law, but no, it's still blessed despite being against the law.
Yeah, I kind of get what you're going for, but it never quite works out the way you intend it when you try to twist like curse words like that. It doesn't like unless you're going for cartoonishly evil.
Well, I don't mean that. What I'm talking about is he's like, do not speak that blessed name. Like it is like blessed and like holy / revered, but it's against the law to speak it. So why call it blessed?
Well, I'm trying to like, are they saying that blessed itself is a curse in this evil society now? Like, is that sort of it? Or
no? What I think that this is that they're still technically loyal to the crown and to the dream speaker, but they are by law and probably fear of punishment not allowed to say it because the shifter owns this place.
Right. Also, serial navel gazer. No, it's not the Strike Freedom redesign. Do you see any gaudy gold additions here?
Yeah, how dare you, bro? What the fuck? I mean, number one, she can't afford all that gold, but number two, that design is ugly anyway.
So, Ari and Chase leave Lori and Lincoln in the room, and they go outside. Chase wanted to see the race course before they rode it. Ari took him out to the field behind the inn. They looked at the field with horror in their hearts. The shifter's army had set fire to the coal pits. Yes, you already said that. Those pits now burned slowly. Black smoke drifted into the hot air. Dull orange flames flared and dug out pockets of earth. The jumps for the race had been set up so that the riders would have to leap over the fiery pits. It's like the fiery field, Ari whispered to Chase. It's as if the shifter spreads his horrible land wherever he goes.
Or the author is just being repetitive.
Yeah.
Look, if it ain't broke, well, if it's broken, do it anyway.
This author hates the color red, or anything associated with red.
What is wrong
Red
with
is the color. Red and black are the color of evil in this book.
I look down at me wearing exclusively red, black, and having red hair. I feel called out here.
Don't worry. You will get representation, trust me.
Because red killed my grandma, okay?
Well, that's a you issue.
I was about to say, yeah, that's a skill issue if I heard it.
The prize was a silver rose. So now we know what the prize is for winning the race.
Yeah, I'm not really the biggest fan of Mercury X Ruby. I think it's a bit of a crack ship. They don't really have that great of a dynamic.
Is that what it's called?
Probably.
It took me
Somebody look it up. Somebody look it up in chat. Go refer to the flow chart, okay?
Maybe they're taking the color theory a little too conservatively. Maybe.
Oh no, maybe it's Silver the Hedgehog X Amy. Okay, that would actually make a lot more sense.
Oh. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Amy can't see the difference between Sonic and Silver, so.
That's true. Amy is racist against hedgehogs. So
God damn it, you stole my fucking
Despite isn't she also a hedgehog?
Yes.
Yes.
I bet she has like that rare like the condition where she can't distinguish faces.
Oh, so autistic.
Wait, what?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past her.
I did not expect that, but okay, sure.
I was gonna say she has Uncle Ruckus denial syndrome, but that works too.
Mercury X Ruby is Quicksilver, apparently.
There are probably different variations of that name.
Yeah.
There's always like 5 or 6 different names to almost every single ship in Ruby.
Makes sense.
We always come back to Ruby, don't we?
Yeah, apparently you guys do.
Hey, you guys, it's not my fault, okay? I didn't bring that up this time.
So, they walk through the course to have a look at it. They drew up in front of a double oxer, a huge 2-fence jump with a spread of more than 7 feet over a shallow lake of low fire. Ari paced the approach, counting the number of strides Chase would have to take before he leaped it. That's a tough one, someone said, but I think Cinna can take it. Ari turned and stared. The voice belonged to a boy about her own age, maybe a year older. He was tall and skinny, with bright red hair that stuck up on his head like a rooster's. He was riding a dun-colored unicorn with a pretty head and an amber horn. Cinna, the boy had called her. She nodded hello to Ari, and then flirted a little with Chase, dancing sideways and nickering in a feminine way. Chase rumbled back at her, then turned his attention to the boy on her back. "And who are you?" "I'm Finn," he said cheerfully. "My parents run the inn."
I'm your requisite love interest for this story.
Nah. Okay, so his name is Finn, and he is a writer. I'm a little bit sketchy right now because
we're on the lookout for frying pans right now.
I'm just saying that Disney might have ripped this story off. Okay.
Disney ripped off this story for Tangled.
Can you imagine?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh my god, it might actually get her out of hiding to sue them.
Holy shit. Listen, you got an opportunity, okay? If you win this case, you can have the funds needed to finish your last book.
Oh my god. You know, maybe that's why she disappeared. She's just been working on her case. She disappeared the year that the movie came out.
Or more sinisterly, they disappeared her.
Oh no.
Dun dun.
Disney
No
was
one
preemptive
fucks with the mouse. Holy shit.
Now we have a new conspiracy to add to the list.
Hey, that's canon in my book.
Also, should we say anything about Finn? I know.
Well, he has red hair, so I'm presuming he's evil.
No, I think we should. I honestly think we should save it.
Okay.
Just hold off on a bit to make it even better.
Well, now I'm preparing for something.
You should be.
Okay.
Are you racing tomorrow? Ari asked politely. She wished he would go away. She had too much on her mind. My mother won't let me, he admitted. She thinks all the shifters' races are fixed. She says people get hurt. He shifted in his saddle. He looked like a decent rider, except he slouched. Ari resisted the temptation to tell him to sit up straight. She didn't know why Cinna hadn't mentioned it already. Maybe your mother's right, Ari said, and turned back to the jump. You're going to ride him? Finn jumped off Cinna and walked up to Chase. He's amazing. My mother says he used to be a royal unicorn. I suppose that accounts for the coat. How it shines. And look at his horn. It's fantastic. We're pretty busy right now, Ari said. If you'll excuse us? That's okay, Finn said. I'll be quiet. He kept staring at Chase, which made Ari nervous.
Oh no! Ari is now like Dalen, suffering from success.
Finn is just not taking that hint.
Conquest so hard.
We prefer to be alone, but Finn seemed impervious to snubs. I'll hang around here for a bit, he squinted at Chase. That's the most incredible unicorn I've ever seen. Apparently, Chase doesn't care for comments about his appearance. You should see his sire and dam. My parents told me they were both members of the royal stable in Balinor. Do you know what a royal unicorn looks like? There are thousands of things in the universe that I don't know about. This could be one of them. And then again, maybe it isn't, but I believe you. An honest, nosy person who didn't jump to conclusions. She would have liked Finn a lot if she weren't so worried about the shape-shifting monster and his shadow army coming after her in the race tomorrow.
I mean, my response to that entire thing in my own notes is, you could have just said no, bro.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm. I still think that it adds a lot of character to him really early on, though.
Oh yeah,
100%, yeah.
I mean, certainly compared to everyone else in these books.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you've got a nosy kid here who's curious and excitable. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dialogue isn't terrible.
Comparatively.
Yes, relatively speaking, right?
Yeah. So I skip over Ari and Chase talking in their heads and Ari whining about if they'll ever go back home. Course looks pretty tough, doesn't it? Finn said. But if anyone can do it, I bet your unicorn can. I hope so, Ari murmured. What if we fail? There are 3 possibilities, the scepter said. 1, hey! Ari capped her hand over the carved unicorn head, which mercifully fell silent. What's that? Finn asked. He tapped his heels against Cinna's sides and walked her on the hill.
It's a magic 8-ball.
Walked her down the hill. To keep him from coming closer, Ari said curtly, You'll never make a good rider if you don't sit up straight. You're sitting on that unicorn like a sack of potatoes. And if your feelings are hurt, Ari thought to herself, maybe you'll just go away. Far from being insulted, Finn straightened up in his saddle, automatically balancing his weight more evenly across Cinna's back. Okay, yeah. But just more characterization for Finn that he just does not get offended.
Yeah, he just seems to be a pretty chill dude.
Yeah.
Justice for just for chill guys, man.
When did this book come out? This was late 90s?
2000.
Oh, 2000. Okay.
Yeah. I think the first 3 books came out in 1999, and then the rest of them came out in 2000.
Yep.
So what you're saying is the author has a case. Because I'm guessing this is in reference to the freaking Tangle thing.
Yep.
Of course.
What I really like about this is we're able to kind of have Ari have a check and balance between her worries and dealing with someone who is, for the most part, wholly outside of the whole conflict. And she's trying to deal with him, but also her fears. I thought that was really interesting.
Yep.
It's probably the most interesting.
So is the resistance still around,
conversation.
or have they fallen? Yes.
Great question.
They are technically still around. What were you saying, I know?
I was going to say it's one of the more interesting conversation starters / situations in the entire series, simply of like balancing something very personal with the overarching macro goal that the story rests around.
Yeah. And also we get hints that like whether or not she just meant like as friends or possibly even a romantic interest, I do like the idea of Ari kind of holding herself back because of her duties from just talking to this presumably cute boy.
He's just a normal guy. It comes out of nowhere, and it's like, okay, well, this is a breath
New
of fresh
character,
air.
yay!
It is kind of interesting how he is in contrast to how the town and the people have been described up to this point.
Well, you have to understand, he's not fat, so he's not evil.
True. But he is a redhead.
Well,
so
oh my god, I forgot about that shit. Yeah.
Well, his father and mother are also not fat as well.
Okay, so don't worry. That's more in favor of him not being evil, but not out again. Red hair.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and this isn't just Mary like we're talking about. We're talking about a lot of media likes to make redheads evil.
That is true. Yeah.
Celtic looks in the mirror every morning and just says, "You're evil, aren't you?"
Well, yeah, because I am.
As we established before the stream started, he is a fan of Arden from Final Fantasy 15. So I don't know.
Technically speaking,
I feel like
he
he's
has
doing
pink
that
hair.
to himself. Oh, okay.
When you're dealing with anime characters, you have to be very specific about the hair color. Because redheads are now orange, whereas you have actual like crimson for hair, and then you also have pink.
And like dark pink.
Yep.
Cletus Cassidy heard that.
Let me know when he gets a proper frickin' wig.
So Ari said that she could have sworn that she saw relief passed over Cinna's face. I know I'm not a very good writer, Finn said. Anything else I should know about good writing? I really want to learn. I need a good teacher. But to do that, I'd have to leave here. Nobody from outside Deridia ever visits here. Not since the shifter took over. Everyone's afraid to stay here for long. You're actually not bad, Ari smiled at him. He was the kind of person you had to smile at eventually. He never seemed to get mad, and he wasn't insulted. I thought that everyone accepted the shifter's rule. His cheerful open face darkened a little. I don't, he said quietly. My parents have to, but not me, one of these days. There are some things better left unsaid, Chase's eyes were stern. Words like those can put the mistress in danger, Finn.
It's an actual human exchange.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
How long has it been?
Oh my god, we finally got to the good part. Wait, okay.
Okay, you know that part in the Deadlands where everything you can't eat food or water? That's been this entire book series, and now I'm at an oasis.
Yeah, like we talk about the best part, like Finn is weirdly enough the marker for where it's like, wait, hold up. There's actually stuff here.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, 5 hours. We're exactly 5 hours into this book, relatively. And we finally got to the good part.
Yeah. Like, there is a reason why I say Toby and Finn are the best characters in the series.
Yes.
Finn is best boy.
Where's
Toby is
Lori
best
during
boy.
this,
They're
by
both...
the way? You would think that she'd be interested in talking to a new friend here.
She is in the inn.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said that earlier, that Ari and Chase left Lincoln and Lori in the inn
Right, because
room
she
that they
was
rented.
checking out the track for before the race.
New Teddy
Yep.
Bear lore? EAS. Windhoof demanded return of the tithe and the surrender of Teddy Mountain Boys, a militia of Ursine Stuffies local to Stuffington. For every day their demands unmet, another Teddy lashed. Damn!
Okay.
Cool.
This is getting dog. This gets so much serious every single time. Honestly, you need to get Adult Swim on this, okay? I believe in you. You can be the next Smiling Friends.
So there's a bit of levity here now. Chase and I'd better get back to the inn, she said. The sun's almost set. Finn picked up his reins. I'll race you back. Ari glanced up at Chase. He nodded. Adroitly, Ari leaped on his back. She tapped her heels into his sides, and with a rush they were off.
That's a big word check on the list here. Adroitly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I know,
Frickin'
right?
jump scare.
Okay, I
Also,
want
can you-
to make sure I read that right. Like what? Okay.
I mean, my dyslexia. I have a note here just to say it, adultery, and then I put right next to it is like, I know it's not, but I can only see it as adultery
Yeah.
with my dyslexia.
Come,
In a
Finn. We
clever
must cheat
or
on my
skillful
lover.
way. Okay, in a clever
Well, I mean,
or
considering,
skillful
hey, look,
way.
look,
Okay,
Sunji
that's
just
one.
gotta watch out. He's human. Like, this could be something new, and it steal Ari away from him. Just saying.
Oh my
Yep.
god. Oh right, God.
Yeah,
It's
we
been
can't
so
forget that
long.
she and this horse have a fucking weird bond.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nameless says, do you think the writer of is this kind of person who would call Finn a daywalker due to the hatred colors of red and black? The South Park reference. I don't
no.
think so.
I don't know.
I mean,
Um,
that depends. Is she from Colorado?
No, she was from Florida and New York
Oh damn.
is where she mostly lives from. Also, they're kind of talking over your description of the word, but a clever or skillful way is what adroitly means.
Thank you.
Yeah. Never heard that. That's
And
something
it's
new.
I was gonna say it's just a moment of levity because Twi hasn't highlighted it, but it's just a frankly innocent race between two people that just met, and it's like one of those things of like, this isn't spectacular, but in just an average story, this would be like, oh yeah, this is the friendship bond moment. So like, yeah, this is quite nice. I like this.
Yeah, I can highlight
there's-
it to read it.
Yeah, there's nothing like wrong with it at all.
Yeah. The field swept past them. Finn was a good rider, but he wasn't the best by far. Ari thought his parents were right. He would get hurt if he rode in the race tomorrow, and Cinna was out of shape. She was exhausted after the first 3 fences. Chase took the lead easily from Cinna, hooves pounding. His mane was like a banner. He took the fences like a low-flying bird. Ari bent over his neck, feeling the wind in her hair, the pull of his long muscles across his back. She hoped the whole competition could be like Finn and Cinna.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, it's like Finn came in, was nosy, wasn't insulted, and basically got her to experience why she likes horse riding so much again, even despite everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't believe she's
Like,
from
there's a-
Florida. She hasn't eaten a single face in any one of these books so far. Well, the characters aren't from Florida. We have no idea how many faces Mary's eaten.
Regardless, this is one of the things that you can point to in a lot of stories of just like, it's not a lot. However, there's meat to these sections. You can actually
Sure.
talk about this.
Face meat in specific.
Oh, of course. Also, more Teddy Bear Paladin lore. Holy crap, man.
CBS. The Stuffington Press lambasted the occupation and the demands to return tribute. When the garrison tried to shut them down, the local citizens blocked entry.
Yeah,
Ooh.
let's go.
I expect an epic fight scene, my man.
Yeah. Okay. Finn dismounted and fiddled with the girth of Tisina's saddle. My mother said you're from Sixton. I've never been there. Is it... His eyes traveled wistfully around the yard, at the silent workers and the depressed-looking unicorns. Is it as busy and interesting as they say? Why, yes, I suppose it is. They say you're a member of one of the great houses. Have you ever been to Balinor? Having to lie made Ari cross. Worry about whether the scepter would start talking again if she inadvertently asked a question made her tense. Suddenly, she felt like as if she'd been run over by a whole herd of black unicorns from the Valley of Fear. No, I've never been to Balinor. She shook her head and walked chaste into the stable. Behind her, Finn stood on one foot, then the other. Realizing that she wasn't going to talk to him anymore, he turned and walked away, Cinna following him.
Kudos on to Mary for predicting home speaker systems and how annoying it is when you have to ask a question and accidentally get overheard.
Yeah.
Scepter.
And hey, this is one of the few times in the book where asking a question is not immediately like, completely villainized. So kudos for that.
Mm-hmm.
I've not turned into one of these unicorn streams. How out of my depth am I? We'll catch you up. Don't worry. You'll catch a grip. It's not very complicated. Except for when it is,
Yeah.
and in which case, when it is, it doesn't make any sense to the people that read it this far anyway.
You just missed all the lore. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you just miss all the lore, and the lore is the worst part.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You are now tuning into the best part of the series, so congratulations. You have really good timing.
Yeah, congratulations. It only goes down from here.
But I do like this scene because even though that it does kind of reiterate the dynamic that Finn and Ari have, it's a nice cementing of it.
Mm-hmm.
Magic
'Cause he is
Scepter, play
asking-
Desposito.
Oh my god.
Well, more than that, when Finn asks a question, Ari doesn't give an answer. He doesn't push the second that he notices that it's like uncomfortable for her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So it's
already
like-
says a lot
like-
about them.
Wow, Finn, why are you a normal fucking person? What are you doing here?
I know, right?
And it also adds a little bit in terms of sorry, what? I think my connection was weird.
Oh, nope.
Oh, okay. I was also saying that it also gives a little bit of world building as well, or in terms of like, him never really being from like outside of this island or this country he lives in. And
Yeah,
just looking at his the state of things in comparison, right?
Yeah, I really like it for how much unanswered depth that you can get out of these scenes with Finn. Because, like, I'm pretty sure as a kid, I had probably made up, like, a whole bunch of different scenarios in my head of, like, what Deridia was like and how it was like living in Deridia for Finn and why he wanted to leave so badly. Other than the fact that, it's a desert that is controlled by the shifter, but like the fact that he is so curious and so happy-go-lucky and he's living in this very oppressive place, there's just so much there and so much characterization for him. And then meeting up with Ari, who is starting to get bogged down by all of the weight of her responsibilities, and just like this sunshine boy is clashing against this kind of doom and gloom girl. I love it.
Yeah.
Aiden Hughes, Magic Scepter, execute Order 66.
Oh my god.
It'll be done by
No,
And
those-
you just see all the stormtroopers gunning down unicorns.
Oh my god! I was about to say all the unicorns start like stomping on people.
Tragedy of our age starts playing.
You are sad, milady. His tone was kind. I feel sad for Finn. Here he is, dying for adventure and freedom in a place where he can't have either. He's so desperate he's going to try and take that poor plump unicorn Cinna into the race tomorrow. She won't go far, Chase said reassuringly. She'll have enough sense to turn around and come back to the stable if she can't handle the course. But Finn's dull life isn't what's bothering you, is it? I can't make friends, Chase. I can't even talk to a boy like Finn. Not until this is all over. And yes, that makes me sad. And you? Are you doing okay? She asked him. She ran the mane and tail comb through his silky forelock. His dark eyes were strange and distant. I too feel the burden of our quest.
You get away with that character development.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's actually compelling. Characters talking about the harshness of their situations. Where the fuck did this come from?
Yeah, like
I know, right?
we can all agree this isn't like great writing. This is just average.
But
Yeah,
like, it's a
decent.
bright spot.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, so Cinna's evil. Got it. Yes. She's plump.
Yeah, all right. Ah, damn! No one.
Hey.
See, no wonder he's gonna lose.
Teddy scribe, the Teddy Mountain boys, driven from home, had made off with the tithe, which included family heirlooms from other provinces. They would return those to their homes. So Robin Hood action going on in there. Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a surprise. Like, where has this been? Talk to Lori, for fuck's sake. That poor girl she's not asked for any of this. She's gotten dragged into so many adventures.
Aiden, why can't you talk to Finn? Well, she really doesn't like lying, and she'll have to continue to do that.
Yeah, that's a legitimate reason that people can be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and like after this whole thing is over, she'll have to move on, which will probably make things even harder.
Yeah, this isn't her country. She's basically talking to a citizen of a rival land overall. So
yeah, and that makes things very difficult for people. But yeah, I think even as a kid, like, I recognize that this section of the book was different from the other books that I'd read so far in this series, and that's really why it was my favorite, I think.
It's the first one that got me to lean up in my seat of just like, wait a second, I'm back to normal writing.
Wait,
I know.
Hold
right?
on, they cooked. They actually cooked. Okay, who got in the kitchen?
Okay, no.
Where's the next Atalanta section? I know it's coming.
She didn't cook. She preheated. We haven't gotten to the cooking yet.
Oh my god, no, dude! She ordered McDonald's. This is McDonald's.
But she kept it warm in the oven.
Yep. At least she hasn't eaten out of the trash can. Not yet.
Airy meta boy. Yes.
Oh yeah, yes. Rival just came in. God, you're usually early for this stuff, Rival. We just got to the best part of the book apparently. So see how you feel about that. Go back to 30 minutes ago.
Yes. Ari pulls the royal scepter from her belt again. What will the trial by fire be like? The rosewood took on a warm glow. The lapis blue eyes sparkled to life. Milady! Chase's voice was a loud alarm in her head. She jumped up, the scepter in one hand. What is it? The sawdust on the floor of the stall began to roll, as if some huge form beneath it were trying to escape.
Of course, she's interrupted right as she's trying to get pertinent information towards the next step of her quest.
Yeah.
Yep. The stall floor exploded. The snake woman's head thrust through the sand and sawdust. Red forked tongue flickering, green flames coming from her fanged mouth. Ari grabbed her father's knife from her boot and swung at the head, drawing yellow-green blood from the snake's jaws. Stand aside, Chase roared. He lowered his head, ready to spear the evil Kylie. Eri swung the knife desperately, hitting the snaky coils again and again, until a final violent hiss, the snake woman sank back and disappeared.
The fuck was that? The fucking yawn fight from Resident Evil 1?
Yes.
Hello! Yes, I am here to... Ow! 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 Stop! Ow! Stop that! I'm here to kill you! I'll stop! Ow! Oh, fine! Fuck off! Oh, bye! Jesus Christ! God damn!
I was bringing your fucking DoorDash, bitch.
Here's your McDonald's. God, I hope you enjoy the 4 fries I left in there after I ate the rest.
Ah, shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes.
to be
Amidst
fair,
the
it could be worse.
baubles and trinkets was a considerable sum of money and finely crafted arms, all now in the hands of a renegade militia. General Windhoof sent out patrols in search. Why did that remind me of Smiling Friends? Probably because Smiling Friends has had a... It's like my kind of humor, probably.
Yeah, same.
Get out of my head! Get out of my head!
Get out of my head!
Get out of my head, man.
Also, you'll remember from last week, they did say that the shifter and his underlings weren't going to attack Eri until the start of the trials.
Well,
Yeah, weird
to be
that.
fair, she didn't attack. She just burst through the floor and got stabbed. It's like... Yeah, admittedly, we have no idea why she was there.
Have you guys seen the shorts of like you're stuck in a horror movie where the
Yes.
horror movie monster comes in a door, then immediately the guy just shoots
Yes,
them?
I love those
Oh
so
yeah,
much.
yeah. That one is fun. And all the different like game noises, like of course there's one of like Mega Man X and like Kingdom Hearts and
The,
Devil May Cry.
The Freddy Krueger jumping at him only for him to pull out a double barrel shotgun and send him flying back lives in my head rent free.
I love how the guy is screaming throughout all of it. It's like that is something that really should be in more horror films. Is like the guy fighting back effectively, but he's scared shitless.
Yeah,
Just like screaming the entire time. Like, ah, I don't want to die.
Anyway, to talk about that contradiction
Yep.
that I heard earlier.
Yep.
Oh, you were gonna talk about it. It was the next thing we're gonna.
Oh, no, I was going to read on.
Oh, please.
And I thought we were safe from the shifter's attacks until the race. It's the scepter, milady. The power of the scepter draws the shifter's shadows. We cannot risk using any magic of any kind unless we are prepared to fight. Eri closed her eyes in despair. Chase had to be right, and Eri couldn't take the chance of a fight. Not now. Not until she won the race. If she won the race.
Oh, goody. Okay, well, why not ask the scepter right now for the answers? Because you're already standing next to the fucking hole in the ground that the snake lady just burst from, and you fended her off. I think you might have a bit of a grace period to use the fucking scepter.
More than that, really lucky that the Shifter Shadows didn't attack you all the other times. Like, imagine the Shifter Shadows attacked while the Scepter was talking when Finn was there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You're just like some kid that works at a stable. You're talking to some cute girl. You're getting to that age where you're starting to notice girls, and you're like, "Oh man, this one's kind of cute." And we're chatting it up, and she's showing me how to ride horses, and she's giving me tips. And oh my god, snake lady! Holy shit! Ah! And she just like she like almost expressionlessly draws a knife, stabs it, and sends it running away. And you're just like, what the fuck was that? It's like, snake lady. What? Snake lady. Yeah, it's just snake lady. It's like, that's not normal here.
Snake lady. it's the same energy as like wow, Apollo, you came back from the moon. Moon's haunted. What? Grabs gun. Moon's haunted, and then goes back up. Same energy.
Teddy Scholar. Regrettably, the militia under the Pothin Allen lacked the strength to challenge the garrison head on. But attacking patrols and disappearing into the forest was another matter. Again, thank you, Teddy Bear Paladin, but please leave them for like half an hour pauses, man.
Set yourself a timer, my man, please.
So Eri decides after that attack that she is going to sleep in Chase's stall tonight.
Before the wedding? How scandalous!
Well, they already held hands.
Oh, you're right.
Well, I mean, Especially after being chatted up by a boy, Chase isn't gonna stand for that.
Oh, that's the real reason. That makes more sense.
Yeah. I had the worst thought come to my head. I hate myself.
Say it.
No,
Oh,
okay.
no.
Well, she already wrote him.
Oh my god!
It's fair.
Most importantly,
Bad. Okay, and bad. Yes, I know.
It's not gonna violate anything that will harm the stream.
I'll have to get a spray bottle emote. I would make one of those.
Sometime the intrusive thoughts win against all of us.
Glad to know we're reading Vouch's favorite series.
Oh my!
It really does combine everything he likes: horses and kids.
It does.
Yeah,
I disavow completely. Holy shit!
Tacoma's really weeping for this.
Wow. Okay then. So, Ari has a dream.
And that got us more memberships. Thank you, Robert Glending.
Oh my god. Oh. My god.
Holy fuck. New teddy bear lore. CBS, Windhoof was by no means an incapable officer. His troops were far more disciplined than the neglected RBCF, and he was tested in battle. But this was not the war he knew.
Now, say war never changes.
But war never changes.
So, let's see. Her dreams were troubled by visions of bloodshot eye, blah, 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 blah. Atalanta, she cried out. Dream speaker, where are you? Why don't you speak to us? But she knew why. Nothing would ever be right in Balinor unless she won this race. It was a long time before she fell asleep again. So just reiterating that Atalanta is just blind until Ari completes these challenges.
Nah, man. It's you ever like get a call but you left your phone in your room when you went to the bathroom and you miss it?
Yep.
That's what happens here. It's like, oh shit, I got a message.
Little does Ari know I just muted her phone so Atalanta can't call. It's like,
Holy
I
shit.
can't get in touch with Atalanta. No, that's a shame. Oh no, how bad.
That reminds me of there's a small story of a guy who got lost during a hiking trip, and every time that the rescuers tried to call him, he ignored the call because he didn't recognize the number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CBS, he commanded in pitched battles and dealt with enemies who engaged him on the field. Now he had patrols and supplies disappearing on the road. Enemy nowhere to be seen.
You can make an interesting audio drama out of this, actually.
Yeah.
Be disjointed as fuck if you did it from our recordings.
I mean, yes, but if you can refine it, okay, before you get into it.
For sure.
There's a lot of material.
So, Ari attends Chase before the sun comes up. They had a chance to win, she and Chase. Better than a chance. Among his own kind in Balinor, Chase was the leader of all, the best at war games, the most powerful runner. A steeplechase of 3 miles, no matter how rough the country or how high the jumps, should be well within his power to win, even though fire would bar the way.
Dun dun.
Wow, it took us a long time to get through that chapter, it felt like.
Yeah, because it was good.
We had a lot to talk about.
Things to talk about, yeah.
Well, you guys can continue. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So, Ari goes back to the room, learns that Lori and Link also had a restless night. I hate this place, Lori muttered. Everyone's so angry, so jumpy. It's getting on my nerves. It's creepy. Lori scowled.
But then she shifted her weight and looked up at Ari. Hey, Ari? Yes, Lori? Good luck. I really mean it. I saw that course. It's awful. Ari smiled but didn't answer.
Wow.
More character development.
Yeah.
Did the author change? That's my actual note. Did the author change or something?
Yeah. No, listen again. Okay, she DoorDashed some Chick-fil-A, right? So she didn't have to cook. This is her lunch break. All right.
Oh, I see.
She's all like, she felt like, you know what? I'm a bit too lazy today to cook. I'm just gonna have this pre-made stuff.
Oh shit! I didn't actually know this. I was like, wait, when did Chick-fil-A like first start up? And then I looked it up. 1967 apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, Atlanta Mall.
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
She went back to the stable. She had to get ready. She had to focus. She was soaping the light, flat saddle when Finn walked into the stable, his red hair sticking up as if it had never been combed. So I highlighted that because of the she. She.
I'm just reminded that what freaking YMS does when it comes to copyright songs. But yeah, that is a bit overused.
She had to focus. She had to do so much. You can just say her name.
Yeah.
It's so it's really dull to read the same sentence structure over and over and over again without any variation.
It's a
so
sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very dry. It's very dry.
It's a 4-sentence combo to add to your point, Dwy. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's just I always got told when writing to vary up your language. If you're finding that your sentence structure is getting too dull, to rearrange the words in order to make the sentence flow differently. Instead of saying she, then write her name. Or you can start with soaping up the light, flat saddle. She noticed Finn walked into the stable. Something like that.
Yeah, start with
rather.
the verb, that sort of thing.
It's
Sure.
It's something that I was taught by my editor. Like, if you ever go crazy and you keep repeating yourself, remember, the thesaurus is one Google search away. Keep one of those open and just like, okay, I've used this word. Thesaurus, synonyms, click. Okay, I can use one of those.
What really sucks is there are some words that I've used where like I look up the synonyms and like there's only 3 or 4 and they're all like different enough that it's like that doesn't fit the circumstances. This one specific word is so specifically tailored, and it's the only one there is for it.
It's rare, but at the same time, it gives you enough variation.
Right, and if that fails, like we said again, change the sentence structure so it doesn't come off as repetitive.
Yeah.
Why are you looking at book on Wednesday instead of Friday? This is the Balinor streams that we do. Like Team JYCT, we've covered Balinor uniquely. It's a little more of a controlled coverage instead of the in the wilds that we do with Bad Fanfiction Night. It's just something that we occasionally pop back to because it's a good place to mine some interesting memes.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like Entia, the shifter.
Our enemy.
The enemy. Oh, by the way, oh god, sorry.
I was just gonna say the difference between Bad Fanfiction Night and the JYCT streams when we do reading books is the Bad Fanfiction Night is purely to make fun of it and maybe occasionally talk about why something is bad, but with the JYCT streams going through books, we delve a little bit more deeper into the writing structure and the prose and the characterization.
And
so it's different that way.
Further along with that, just the lore for the author in general.
Yeah.
Also, book singular. This is the only one we've covered so far on there.
Yeah,
So
well,
far.
book series, technically speaking. We have technically covered multiple books.
Yeah, it's technically multiple books, but it's like in the same series.
Speaking of multiple books, Teddy Bear Paladin, please.
Yeah, you have to do 14 and 15.
Yes. Ultimately, Windhoof failed to contain the militia or stop the raids in RBCF, for which he would be recalled. The Balinor Daily condemned his failure and demanded the militia caught. CBS, the military began growing confident as victories mounted. The militia began growing confident as victories mounted, and set its sights on Fort Duskstar. Windhoof had reduced the garrison to a skeleton to reinforce patrols. It was weak.
Wow.
You forgot 6, apparently.
That I forgot.
According to Robbie.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy. Why didn't you say that earlier, Robbie?
I think he did.
Yes.
Oh.
Tide lost and the Royal Authority bloodied. The Army Balinor was called to respond under command of General Windhoof. They began a military occupation of Stuffington. Okay. That was just establishing the You did?
He did it.
He did, yeah. Because I'm reading, I'm the one that looks at the chat least. So sorry about that, Robbie.
No, you didn't, Robbie. I'm looking back. You didn't call us out on number 6.
Ooh.
But also, now I am also thinking of Gary and SpongeBob. Oh, Gary, why didn't you tell me I was being an awful parent? Meow. You did? Oh, Gary, why didn't you tell me I wasn't listening? Meow. You did?
Meow.
Old SpongeBob, man. Old SpongeBob.
Classic SpongeBob,
Best.
man. Some just great comedy there.
Remember a rock won that race.
And it was worth every penny.
Squidward tortellini.
Finn crouched down beside her and took up the racing bridle. Like the saddle, it was made of exceptionally fine leather. It was red, traced with gold. That's not much of a bit for a race like this, he said. He fingered the straight iron bar. Chase doesn't need a heavy bit. His mouth is as light as a feather. Finn took a sponge and the leather soap and began to clean the reins. I found out everyone's talking about the race. The whole town will be there. Ari didn't say anything. She walked Chase into the open air. Finn followed her, carrying the saddle and bridle. The paved yard was filled with riders in breeches and riding boots. He's like a little bird, just like following her. He's so cute.
Yeah, I'm imagining like his hair just being discount Axel. All right, I'm waiting for a part where he says "guide memorize." Okay, I'm waiting for that.
Chase doesn't talk much. Finn began to clean the bit again with strong wipes of the tack cloth. When he has something to say, Ari rested the jump saddle on her knees and looked at him. No offense, Finn, but I'm really busy here. Can't you find a spot to watch the race? His eyes were a deep liquid brown. When he squinted, as he did now, his long eyelashes almost hid them. I'm going to ride along. Ari stared at him open-mouthed. Then she said, You're kidding. You're good, Finn, but you're not that good. I mean, there are pretty tough jumps. Almost immediately, she was sorry she'd been so blunt. But she didn't want to have to worry about Finn while she was trying to win this race, and she wasn't at all sure if the fire part of this trial would be limited to the burning pits. Would the woods themselves burst into flame? Would ghouls from the Valley of Fear jump out of concealed spots waving flaming torches? No, she didn't want to worry about the safety of a novice rider in the oncoming 30 minutes. I'm going to walk through, he said calmly. Will the judges allow that? Any unicorn rider could walk through, that is, go through the gates rather than the open fences, if the judges allowed it. But riders that walked through did it because they only wanted to enjoy the ride, and this course, with its pits of fire, was going to be terrible. My father asked, It'll be okay, as long as I don't get in anybody's way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the closest thing to adventure that he can get. Like, he can't, like, run and participate, but, like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Let's just walk through it. Do.
And he's inevitably going to break that rule and attempt some of the jumps, I imagine.
Yeah, probably.
Spoilers.
Hey,
Possibly.
the character's having a brain for once, actually asking a question.
Also, Teddy Scribe,
Yeah.
Windhoof's recall spurred the plan forward. In the dead of night, we snuck into the fort, found the commander, and forced surrender. Fort Duskstar fell without a drop of blood.
Ooh.
So it's his adventure time.
God damn it.
Shit.
So it says Aiden.
I'd appreciate it if you kept out of our way, she said as nicely as possible. It's pretty important that I win this race. I thought maybe it was. His freckled face was serious. Ari looked sharply at him. How much had he seen and heard yesterday? He was such a quiet kind of person, she might not even have noticed him. Had he overheard her conversations with Chase? Had he really left the stable when she thought he had? Could he have seen Kylie burst through the floor of Chase's stall?
At some point, someone's going to fire out something burst through the floor of Chase's stall. I don't know how you're covering that up. Someone's got to pay floor repair charges.
Yeah, for real.
So she now has a little bit of doubts about Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a redhead.
Fair.
No, it's because he's got a fat horse.
Yes, that's the real reason.
Well, remember, I've been blanking on his name the entire time, but the innkeeper of Balinor town, he's also pretty fat. But he was part of the resistance. He was the leader of the resistance.
Oh, that's right. I'll say that boy.
Dude
That
knows
good old
everything
lad.
and does everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Pal,
I know how none of you remember his name.
Teddy, look, seriously,
You
man.
don't remember either.
Too much, man. Too much.
Now that he doesn't have to pay for it, he goes crazy.
I can't keep pausing to read these out, man.
At this point, we just need a Bear Paladin stream.
We need some time to space these out.
We're only an hour and a half in, so we're making good time.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I see the page count. Yeah, we're not that far off from where the rest of the book is at.
Yes, the fluffy ursine boars bit off more than they could chew. Taking a fort was a step of defiance too far for the royal family. General Samlet the 23rd was sent to wipe them to a stuffy.
Thank you, Teddy Bear Paladin. Yeah.
I don't know if that was intentional or not.
It might have been, honestly. Yeah.
Possible. Before he was the leader of the resistance, he was the general. Makes sense.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, the sun darkened as if shadow had passed over it. She whirled. A rider stood in the open door to the stable, leading a coal-black unicorn. He was a huge stallion, powerfully built with a heavy bridle muzzle. I don't know why I didn't highlight this. She knew that unicorn. Moloth. The rider was dressed from head to foot in black. Black breeches, black shirt, and a black gauze mask that was pulled down over his head.
Blackbird, black skies, everything black. Well, everything. Sorry.
I see a red horse and I want to paint it black.
I mean, I just saw Molotov and I was like, I can't read that as anything other than Morgoth.
Yeah. The eyeless mask stared in her direction. The black unicorn drew his lips back from his teeth in a grotesque grin. Moloth! Chase shouted wordlessly. He sprang forward. Air yelled, "Halt!" and made a grab for his mane. Chase came to a quivering halt. The rider lifted his riding crop with a quick, insolent salute. He reached inside his jacket and with one gloved hand dropped a red rose into the floor. The thorns were long and pointed. The heart of the rose was filled with cankers and black spots. Fearfully, Ari picked it up.
It's a really weird reboot of Sailor Moon.
Yeah. Was that who it seemed to be? Moloth, the unicorn head said from inside the leather vest. Her leader of the shadow unicorns and favored mount of Entia himself. Entia's unicorn! Ari's bones turned to water. That featureless face, that thin-lipped grin. Would she hide against Entia himself? She was afraid to voice the thought, afraid to hear the scepter's response. Dizzy with fear, she slumped to the ground. Here, put your head between your knees, Finn said. His hand was strong and gentle on her back, on the back of her neck. Do you know that rider? Moloth, Chase growled in her mind. And on his back, a human I do not know. Is it the shifter, Chase? Finally he shook his head, his bridle jingling. A stranger, milady. Not the shifter himself, but one of his own. Eri pulled herself together. She smiled at Finn as brightly as she could. Didn't eat enough breakfast, she said lightly. I'm fine now. Let me get you something to eat, some fruit or something. Just go away, Eri thought. Her nerves were strained to the breaking point. But aloud she said, thanks, maybe a piece of bread. She didn't even notice when Finn left.
I mean, it's good. Solid.
Yeah.
My only thing is, all right, so the shifter can't hurt you, but you have in front of you his main unicorn and the main rider for that unicorn.
Uh-huh.
Kill them. Kill them now. They are not allowed to fight you. They are not allowed to defend themselves because they can't risk hurting you or else all magic goes away. But you're under no restrictions. Kill them. Kill them dead.
Just fucking kill them.
I think she is under the same kind of restrictions because she needs to... It's kind of like a fight between the light side and the dark side. She has to race against Entia's forces in order to balance out the magic. And because his magic is now currently stronger than her magic, she's the one that needs to win the race in order to balance magic out again.
All right, so kill them after the race. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining Eri wins the race, turns around, and it's like a 50 cal B.
Pulls out a shotgun.
Yeah, exactly.
More teddy bear lore. TS. Some might say the defense of the fort was brave. It was stupid and cost us dearly. Arcane artillery tore our position to shreds, and we couldn't to challenge the full might of Balinor. Also, Robbie, there almost certainly is a horse-themed magical girl series. I mean, Uma Musume alone probably fills that niche, technically speaking.
Horse-themed magical girl show.
I mean, you do remember that we watched the two-parter for Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders.
True.
Oh yeah, that yeah, I guess that counts.
Yeah. I mean, some of those were unicorns, but some of them were just horses. And Pegasi.
It's more of an idol show from my perspective. You know, like I said, it could qualify. I'm not saying that it does strictly. I mean, technically speaking, if Cardcaptor qualifies, and I'm pretty sure does Cardcaptor have magical changing sequences? Because all of her costumes are...
Yes. Well, kind of. Like, the main magical sequence is the actual cards themselves.
Because I was going to say, the costumes she wears are custom made by her friend, right?
Yes.
So, like, if you don't need a magical transformation to be a magical girl, strictly...
No, the only thing that you need to be a magical girl show is to wield magic of some sort and be a girl.
All right, so then Uma Musume qualifies because they have
Totally.
They have what is it called? The line.
I can tell you.
Like,
I just know that it makes more money.
It has to be the main feature of the story. That's for sure.
And one of these days I'll find small tangent. There's a parody anime that shows off a magical girl transformation from her perspective. She's going through the entire thing, and then it zooms out to everyone around her, and they all have welding masks on because it's so bright. Looking at that magical girl transformation.
Oh, that's fun.
Teddy bear, I'm fatigued.
I mean, we. I feel like I can. I mean, one of us can probably read it for you. I can,
yeah, so someone else pick it up, please.
Okay. T.S. I thought we'd meet our end there, and then a human witch of scarlet hair came to our aid. She created a way out of the fort. and use sorcery to cloak us in the forest.
Ooh, new character.
See, a redhead can be a good part of the story. Wait a second. A human witch with red hair. Are we talking about Flom from Freerun?
Oh God.
Dog, those unicorns are fucking toast, dog.
So Eri goes and stands with the other riders that are going to be in the race. She's looking for the Shadow Rider. She knew Moloth and his rider are somewhere, but doesn't know where. Lori comes to try and like give her some encouragement. You're the best rider here, Eri, and you have the best mount. We're cheering for you, Lincoln said. His tone was brave, but his eyes were worried. I'm betting on her and Chase to win, Finn said, coming up behind her. Eri jumped in the saddle. Chase shifted restlessly under her. That boy had a genius for appearing out of nowhere. I brought you bread and juice. Eri accepted the food with the best grace that she could muster. The bread was like ashes in her mouth, and the juice tasted sour. I thought you were going to ride through, Finn. Is Cinna ready? Cinna's pulled up lame. There's another unicorn I can ride, though. I'll be there. He put his hands on her stirrup and stared earnestly into her face. There's a reason why I have to be there, Eri. This is my chance to do something big, to get out of Deridia. I don't understand. I had this dream last night, Eri. A wonderful... A horn shouted. Eri straightened up with an exclamation. Sorry. The riders began to gather at the first gate, and with the last look at her, Finn took off running toward the barn.
I don't wonder what this could mean.
Yeah. A little bit of intrigue.
Dun, dun, dun.
You're typing loud.
Sorry about that.
Clickety clack.
It turned out Teddy Bear had us muted. For he was doing something else, so he couldn't hear us.
Okay.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so I just, because I was typing that out, he's in the race now, Finn?
He's going to walk through, like he said before. Cinna is turned up lame, so she can't ride, but he says that he has another unicorn that he can ride.
Isn't turning up lame like a death sentence for horses?
No.
No.
Okay.
Not at all.
Lame just means that you're injured in some way.
You have a bad leg. You have a bad leg, or
it's a break that's typically bad.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lame is usually like they got like a cut on their side and it hurts to run.
Okay.
Yeah. So, like, if you remember when we had those cow hoof cleaning videos, like all of those cows are lame.
Right.
He says that very often in those videos.
Axel, has anyone here ever broken a bone? I've broken 20 bones actually.
I keep forgetting about that. The moment you mentioned it, I'm like, yeah, didn't you break like every bone in your body at some point?
Functionally, yeah.
Yeah, the closest thing I ever gotten was a sprained ankle.
I split my head open when I was like 9 months old.
Jesus!
Yeah, that's about the worst of it that I've had, bone-wise.
The worst I ever had was I almost drowned once. That's about it.
That's a very bizarre bone. The drowning bone, very, very specific bone.
I mean,
well, like, because I haven't had any. I've already said that I've never broken a bone. The worst that I've had that would be equivalent is I almost drowned. Also, I slid on frozen gravel once, and I opened up all of the skin between my fingers so you could see the bone once.
Oh, cool.
Ow. Okay.
Oh.
Somehow that did not leave a scar, and I have no idea why or how.
Worst for bones was probably my mouth. The front entire part of my like front and upper and lower teeth are all fake. I had to get them all replaced.
Oh, damn.
I was doing hurdles on concrete. I tripped and my chin hit flat on the concrete.
Ouch.
You see,
Okay.
I have anxiety about that. Like, I walk up, it's like, if I trip here, and my face goes into that, I don't have a face anymore.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, I'm going to be feeling phantom pains tonight. Blame Axel for asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shame him.
Shame, shun him.
Shame!
Shun the unbeliever. Shun.
So, they get into position. The race is about to start. Get ready, get set, and go. The horn sounded. The flag dropped. Chase sprang forward with a powerful thrust of his hind legs. Eri felt a surge of excitement as the two of them took the lead immediately. She turned her head to glance at the rest of the field. He was there. Moloth and the Shadow Rider. Galloping easily at Chase's heels, a glint of red fire behind the gauze mask. Eri clenched her teeth. The race was on.
Done.
Nice.
Yeah. And now we are officially in the Trial of Fire. Yeah, the action scene. The Trial by Fire. Chapter 10. Eri bent low over Chase's neck, the grit-filled wind stinging her cheeks. She held her hands low and kept her head down. Chase surged beneath her, his flying hooves sending up patches of dirt and grass. Moloth and the Shadow Rider galloped beside them. The blank, featureless shield over the rider's face reflected the sun. The second fence loomed ahead. We didn't get the first fence, but okay. Eri sent an urgent... Yeah. Eri sent an urgent thought to Chase. 5 feet high, maybe more, and there's a pit of fire beneath it. Chase responded by shifting his weight off his forehand and gathered in his powerful hindquarters. He cleared the jump easy. The two unicorns, one coal-black and one glorious bronze, had left the rest of the field behind. They raced side by side. The Shadow Rider continued to the side. Eri caught a glimpse of the swinging mace. The chain glinted brutally in the sunlight.
Jesus.
So he's chasing
Also,
her with a ball and chain.
What did I say? Kill him!
Well,
Yeah, yo.
I mean,
All right, all bets are off at that point. Also, how freaking heat resistant are these fences?
no, you can make it.
I mean, you could probably like make heat resistant fences not too difficultly. Like, I wonder if you like cover them in tar or something like that. Like, you can make them
not tar.
Not
tar.
Not tar. What am I thinking of?
You want to set them on fire?
I was gonna say tar makes them easier to burn.
What is,
Yeah.
what is it I am
The
thinking
opposite.
of? There's some other like thick viscous material you could probably cover, like some kind of resin. There needs to be a trial by Lego. Look, no one's winning that one.
Well, the easiest way to do it for this sort of thing is actually that they just they had rivers. So basically, what they did is that they would just soak the wood in the river, throw it down river where it would eventually be needed to be made, and they just bring up the like wet logs and place them where they needed to be.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
The mace swung high and down, whistling past Eri's ear. Missed. The next fence came up fast. Too fast. The flames beneath the pit licked high around the end posts. Eri was late with the cue to shift Chase's weight off his forehand onto his hindquarters. He took the fence late, stumbling just before he lifted off. Eri slipped off the saddle and clung to her unicorn's side. She closed her hand... She closed her eyes and he leaped, clinging to both hands of his mate. Oh my god, why am I having difficulty reading all of a sudden?
Would you
She
like
closed
me
her
to...
eyes as he leaped.
Nope.
No, it's fine. I think it's just because, again, it's so far away from me.
Yeah, Robbie is also pointing out that stone fences are fire resistant, and for some reason that just never occurred to me.
Correct.
Oh, these are stone fences. Okay.
They aren't entirely stone fences.
Well,
don't
they haven't been
describe what they are.
described what the fences look like. They're just called fences.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
She closed her eyes as he leaped, clinging with both hands to his mane, her right foot out of the stirrup and hooked onto the cantle. Hot fire seared her back as they arched over the fence. She used the force of Chase's landing to swing herself back into the saddle. The Shadow Rider and Mulla took the fence easily. The rider raised his right hand, and the stream of fire shot out of his glove.
Oh fuck, bro has pyromancy.
Fucking flamethrower, man. Shit. Got some high level Charizard action going on here.
Yeah.
Again, bro's got pyromancy.
Yeah, he's using Fire Snake. What the fuck?
So they're trying to get away from the fire, trying to ride faster. The Shadow Rider fell behind. Chase took the third fence, then the fourth. The dry and dusty field flashed by. The fifth fence, the sixth. Moloth thundered along behind them. Flames shot from his muzzle. Oh yeah, the reason why I had that separate was because, like, the third fence, well, technically, since you said the second fence they already cleared, they had just cleared, this should be the fourth fence. So I'm thinking that was a typo, and that was supposed to be the first fence, but she said the second.
Okay.
No, there's just two. They're just two third fences. That's all.
Mala thundered behind them. Flames shot from his muzzle. Aerie felt the fiery breath on her neck. She swallowed her fear. The seventh fence, the eighth and ninth. Sweat from Chase's chest flew into her eyes. The Shadow Rider screamed a wordless wail of anger and hate. The terrible cry unleashed a torrent of fire from the pit beneath the next jump. And Aerie rode through a wall of green-yellow flames so hot and high she could barely see the course ahead. And still Chase kept ahead of the Shadow Rider. The 10th fence was an oxer, a tricky double-width jump of logs and brush. Now we get a description of them.
Yeah,
Chase saw it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Wait, there's brush? Okay, logs, sure. Brush?
I can't comment on the brush, man.
That shit goes up, like, that's the most flammable thing you could have right next to fire pits.
Yeah.
A spark hits a brush and half of Australia catches on fire most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it could
no
be
wonder
that...
she can't see anything.
Yeah, it could be that it's already on fire, but, like, there's no description that says that. Wavered, and Aerie balanced herself on his back, murmuring words of love and encouragement through the wall of fire. Oh, so it is on fire, I guess. He made it. The next jump was over water. Behind them, the Shadow Rider flung flame over flame from his mailed fist. Chase's breath was coming in deep gasps. Aerie sat back on the saddle and raced him through the water jump, not over, giving him a short respite from the brutal leaps. Hopping the stream would halt the flames, at least for the moment. She was right. The fire died down as the Shadow Rider and Moloth followed her through the water.
This is so far pretty competently written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Goes back to I Know Nothing asking, did they change authors?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for real. Did she pitch this to a friend at first, and they, like, I don't know, had their own manuscript just based off ideas from, like, a coffee shop conversation they had? I really want to know what kind of sparked this inspiration here.
Finn. The power of Finn.
The power of Finn, yeah.
The Finn factor.
I think that it goes back to her skill is specifically in horses. So anything that is specifically horse-related has been good writing from all of these books so far.
So that means that Finn is secretly a horse. Got it.
Oh my god.
I mean,
that's why Aerie's interested in him.
That makes too much sense.
To quote a memer from A Song of Ice and Fire, a good chunk of the A Song of Ice and Fire casts are also horses, so it makes sense. Happens a lot.
Yeah.
No, do you know that meme?
No, I don't.
No.
There's a stupid joke that I can't remember the exact YouTuber, but he made an April Fool's video where he took statements and memes 100% seriously, and because George R. Martin continuously says like this person was a horse, like you're on top of a horse, but how it's read is just literally a horse. So like he just goes through the entirety of the book seriously saying, yes, half these people are just horses, and then explains it with the in-universe magic. So everyone's just a horse. Oh my god. Sorry about that.
That's okay. So they continue to be chased by the Shadow Rider. The Shadow Rider and Moleth are getting a little bit winded as well. A ball of fire rolled around her. She ducked without thinking. Airy! A hissing whispered in the woods. Airy gripped at the reins. Airy, this way! A giant red unicorn emerged from the trees near the oak. Airy was so astonished she didn't recognize the rider at first. Then she saw the red hair sticking up and a flash of freckles on a bit of wrist exposed between the glove and shirt. Finn! Follow me! My unicorn knows the way out. There's a cave. Rednall! Chase said in her mind. The great bronze unicorn moved eagerly beneath her. Rednall! The red stallion whickered in response. Oh, Chase! Airy blurted. Chase, who is that? Can we trust him? The royal scepter tied at her waist came to life again at Airy's question. His Majesty's brother, Rednall, of the Rainbow Herd. But why?
That's not the immediate follow-up question that I would have. It says like, who is that? It is his brother. But why? but why is his brother?
But why is it?
They were born from the same mother. What the fuck kind of question is that?
Okay, but how?
I'm assuming like, why is he here? Is like what she's actually asking.
When and how did you get here?
That's a good question for another time.
Yeah, he is a celestial unicorn, so he should be up in the Celestial Valley. But he is down here riding the race, and not only that, but Finn is riding him.
Yeah, Numenor's brother is being ridden by a guy that showed up literally 2 chapters ago.
No, Chase's brother.
Thank you.
Yeah. I just noticed that Celtic is sparkly. Yeah, there's something going on with my model. Let me see if I can tweak that.
Sparkly.
Sparkly. Oh yeah, you are
sparkly.
It is a very
you glitter.
It's something going on with the green screen.
Okay.
You were saying what? Sorry, Kaiser?
Oh, I was saying that in light of that, the fact that Finn's riding this unicorn is a very interesting coincidence. Like I don't mind it too much, but it's I guess it's something to consider, I guess.
I mean,
well, remember. Go ahead.
I was gonna say my thing of the coincidence is the fact that, correct my memory, like I tried looking through it, but I legitimately gave up because I was bored to tears going back to the other books. Was it mentioned that Chase had a brother?
Yes.
I think so, yes.
It was mentioned at the start of this book.
Oh, okay.
But I think it was also mentioned in one of the other books as well, very briefly.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, and remember, earlier on, Finn did mention that he had a dream, but Airy cut him off and just said, I'm busy.
I'm really busy, okay?
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is probably like a follow-up to that, which is cool though. At least, my god, at least they set something up,
I know, right?
Who the fuck Ghost wrote?
Yeah, I mean, literally, like, they need to be credited. I cannot believe she's the one who wrote.
I know.
It's just it's a shiny Celtic. Finally, after 73 Jack streams, we finally got a shiny.
Just going to the grass 73 times.
Yeah, that's the best I can do to reduce the sparkliness. I don't know why. I guess I have a little bit of a gap there in the line art.
Guess so.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a quick ball before it escapes.
Rednall had been sent by Atalanta to guide you to victory, the unicorn head said. But Finn? Why is Finn riding him? We don't have much time, Finn interrupted urgently. You have to complete the course, Airy. I'll meet you at the cave. The flames coursed into the sky at her left. The Shadow Rider had discovered them. With a great crash of branches, Moloth burst through the trees. Finn shouted, waved, and took off like a shot. The Shadow Rider didn't hesitate. He couldn't see Arian chase behind the tree. All he saw was a great red unicorn. He smacked the huge black unicorn on the neck with a mailed fist. Moloth leaped forward, and they ran after Finn and Rednall.
I know I have a job to do, but I'm going to completely detach and do something completely different now.
Well, no, I think he's mistaking Ari and Chase for Finn and Rednall. And I think that's, like, the whole point of Finn being here. Like, the whole...
As well as,
right.
Rednall.
Okay, that is a decoy.
Yeah, act as a decoy. Why am I stuttering so much? Jesus Christ.
Happens to everybody. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I need to, like, do some mouth exercises, I think. Wow.
What?
Just start hearing the noise. It's like, ow, wow.
Wow. I mean, you can spend while you're doing that, you may have Ido read some of this.
Oh, jeez, no, I'm
okay.
good.
I should be good. I just needed to do something with my tongue to wake it up. The Shadow Rider had mistaken Rednall for Chase, but the illusion wouldn't hold up if the Shadow Rider got too close. That meant there was very little to complete the course and get to the safety of the cave. If the cave were safe, if that were a trick of the shifter. What if this was the trick of the shifter?
Our enemy.
Ari...
Sorry.
Ari pushed aside... What did you even say?
Our enemy.
Duh.
Oh, yeah.
The shifter. Our enemy.
He was making up for last time.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. Ari pushed aside the fear that Finn's appearance was a trick or a hoax. She had to trust someone, and if her trust were misplaced, she would just have to figure out what to do when that happened. But right now she had to complete the course. She had to win the Silver Rose.
What color scheme would a shiny Celtic even be? That's a good question.
Yeah?
Orange and silver.
Orange, I could see orange and silver. I was thinking maybe that blue.
I was thinking purple and yellow.
He's already
Or purple and gold.
Yellow, I would imagine, or orange.
Yeah, gold of something. I like gold.
Yeah, something goldish.
Silver and gold. Honestly, like a silver base with the gold for the reds. That would actually be really dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. The final jump on the steeplechase course was a huge briar hedge. There were no pits of fire, just thick branches armed with wicked-looking thorns. Ari crouched over Chase's neck and urged him on. He gave her one last mighty effort, surging ahead of the field of riders. 3 strides short of the hedge, she rose in the saddle, and he moved off his forehead. Ready to jump. Flame snaked across Ari's back. She screamed and lost the reins. Moloth and the Shadow Rider seemed to rise out of nowhere. In the fire and the confusion, Ari dimly heard Finn shout, "The cave! Head for the cave!" Rednall's whinny cut over the roaring flames, and Chase twitched his ears back. Then leaped. And somehow they were over the briar. They had won.
Yeah, that was a pretty good action sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, not bad.
Sean Foldark, you have to scroll back to the start of the stream. We've already answered that question.
Yeah, dog.
What did he ask?
What Digimon?
The Digimon on your head.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fun fact, I chose that because of the roses for the By Fire and By Moonlight challenges.
CBS. Okay, now we're a good pace here. CBS, the Fire Hair Coven was but one of many secretive witch cults. It was said that the fiery magic fundamentally changed her hair, hence the name. Balinor labeled them agents of the shifter.
Ooh.
Cool.
I like it. Behind the briar hedge, the Shadow Rider shook his fist and raved wordlessly at them. They had
Whoa! Maurice was in here raving the other day. Whoa! Slow down, Maurice!
Yeah, just.
I just love that cartoonishly, like, I'll get you next time, Gadget!
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have that feel to it, doesn't it? They had won. They had won. It didn't matter if the Shadow Rider followed them now. They had won.
Does
Finn...
it matter if they follow you at this rate anyway? Like, because, like, they couldn't harm you until... Can they harm you or not? What are the rules here?
Yeah.
Look, when you're summoning fire beams and flamethrowers, like, I think the can this person harm you or not is kind of out the window.
Yeah, I was like, well, there's like the whatever god watching or gods watching? Like, who's in charge of this bullshit? Is magic nebulously watching?
Oh, yeah, is this like... Is the guy out the clock now, so his powers just get weaker?
I guess, but at the same time, we're gonna keep saying it, but you don't you don't shove a flamethrower into someone's face to hug them.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Like, people, because of like video games and movies, people really fucking underestimate fire. Yeah. Fire is terrifying. It is genuinely one of the most horrifying things on the planet to ever like need to come into contact with. You cannot underestimate that enough. If you are in a burning circumstance, your eyes will boil out of your head.
It's why it's called the nature's great destroyer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we doing Pokemon rules or are we doing Yu-Gi-Oh rules? And if we're doing Yu-Gi-Oh rules, okay, we do have a book here. I mean, that's fair. I can just throw down Royal Decree and then everything's fine. So we're good here.
Oh my god, you're one of those.
I'm a floodgate, motherfucker. I have a lot of decks, actually.
Okay, fair. Look, as long as you're not using Light Sworns, we're good.
I run a Blue Eyes deck. That's my main.
Almost as bad.
I'm aware.
So, Chase has been injured because of all the fire. So
reasonable.
There is some consequences to the fire being there.
Right.
Celtic Call of Duty War has shown how horrific flamethrowers are. You might think it has. It hasn't. Flamethrowers are like, they have like 3 times the range you see in most video games, if not more. They are, think of the largest squirt gun you can. They are more powerful than that. They have a range like triple of that. It's insane. And they're scary as shit.
I think the trench shotgun's worse.
The trench, they're both fucking terrible, man.
I'm aware, but at least one of them got the Germans to say, hey, don't use that. That's like a war crime, says the Germans.
So Chase was on his side. He was injured. She's trying to get him up before the others that were in the race come and possibly trample them. Also, I guess, Moloth and the Rider are coming. Hurry, Finn cried. You have to follow me. We have to get out of here. But we've won, Aerie cried. It doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but the shifter can still try and kidnap you. We've got to get out of Deridia. On the other side of the fence, the Shadow Rider swung easily off Moloth and drew out an iron spear that had been hanging off from his belt.
That's not kidnapping! That's not kidnapping!
Yeah, dog!
Well, to be fair to the Shadow Rider, Finn is right there and he's already caused issue before, so use the spear, kill Finn, kidnap the girl on the horse.
Yep. That is true.
Jesus,
I suppose.
fuck.
I suppose.
Jesus fuck, dude, Kaiser, they're the evil guys. They're going to do evil
yeah,
things.
but I'm just
Also,
like
Ari at this point can
the-
also be like, well, I have a knife and I have a throat. If you
Oh,
come
my
anywhere
lord.
near me, I'm offing myself, and that's gonna fuck you guys over something royal. If I can't win, nobody does.
Yeah.
But Ari's
Also-
not that hardcore.
Also, I know. To be fair, I'm just trying to. This gives me the imagery of a kid getting skewered by a spear. Okay,
Oh, okay.
specifically by a spear. Okay, YouTube, not real, not real.
Oh, fun
So,
fact, the
like, even
shotguns
though-
weren't as effective as believed, as the shells at the time were prone to jamming on account of them being made of cardboard as opposed to the wax ones more common today in World War I.
Huh.
Huh. Well,
Cool.
the more you know.
Didn't know that. Neat.
Cool.
The spear kidnaps you to
so-
the Shadow Realm.
So even though Finn is like urging Ari on, she still has to like take time to cream up Chase with some healing medicine.
Please don't say it like that.
You chose that, Twy. You chose to
did.
phrase it like that.
I did. Thank you for noticing.
No thanks, Nathan.
Just. You could have just said burn cream.
Well, that's a completely different circumstance that you need burn cream for, all right?
Oh my god. Okay.
That and preferably an antibiotic.
So even though that they're supposed to be in a hurry, she's still applying some salve to Chase. Hurry! Finn cried. We must go! Rednall shouted. I highlighted that specifically because Ari is taking her sweet-ass time.
Hurry the fuck
Look, the
up.
Look, the healing cooldown is like 20 seconds, okay? We'll be good.
The villagers surged forward, following the burly man. Hey, he shouted, you weren't supposed to win. Hold them! The Shadow Rider's voice was like a hollow thunder. Hold them if you value your lives.
Well, I value my life, but my lives? What are lives exactly?
There's cat people around here.
Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
And then we get to my favorite note in this entire series in this next bit.
Ah.
Yeah.
So, Chase is now well enough to possibly fight. Moloth! He shouted. Ari threw her arms around his neck. From the other side of the fence, she heard Moloth's guttural response. Sun Chaser! Chase reared and wheeled. His muscled forelegs pawed the sky. He addressed his ancient enemy. Moloth, I will come for you. Chase, Ari said. Chase! We can't stop to fight now.
My note, by the way, it's probably easy, but just Naruto! Sasuke!
Yeah.
Donkey!
I thought your note had to do with Chase saying, Molith, I will come for you, and you being like, isn't that Ares' job?
No, my note for
I
my
was
note for
going
my-
to say it. You beat me to the
Okay, so
punch.
my note for that is it's the Naruto and Sasuke thing for the Moloth and Sun Chaser, and there's like, Moloth, I will come for you. Note right to the side is cue Cyberpunk's 2077 sound effect. That
Moloth, I will come.
So, again, it's just like, what do you mean his ancient enemy? You never established this.
Also, how the fuck old are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta know about the age here. Is there an age gap between Sun Chaser and Ari?
Oh man.
Like, as far as we know, probably, because Sun Chaser was a celestial unicorn. Celestial unicorns are apparently immortal.
So
We don't know how old he is.
We've got to cancel Chase.
Yeah.
Yep. Hashtag chase is over, party. As if it shouldn't be already over on account of him being a horse, but now we really got it.
Nah, you'd be surprised. There's a good chunk of people that won't cancel him over that.
You're talking about the bronies. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Vouch.
and Vouch, of course.
So, the Shadow Rider remounts Moloth. They get into a sort of fight.
What? Why did he get off? Why did he get off in the first place?
I don't know.
He wanted to stretch his legs, you know?
Yeah.
And do it after the job's done.
No, you got.
Hey,
look,
have
gotta
you ever
limber
tried-
up before you go to war, man?
Hey, have you ever tried kidnapping somebody with a
Without stretching.
with a charry horse?
Yeah, dude, you really got to stretch before you start kidnapping them kids.
Exactly.
The law
Come on,
requires that I
Finya.
answer no.
Come on, Finn yelled. The cave! He swung himself onto Rednall's saddle. Aerie scrambled up Chase's side, and without pausing to fit her feet into the stirrups, they raced for their lives. Slipping, sliding, they crashed through the trees. Finn guided them towards a cliff raising from the forest floor. Moloth's angry screams pushed them on. The Shadow Unicorn had regained his feet. The Shadow Rider was after them again.
Okay,
When did he lose his
the
feet?
way they described slip and sliding, I'm imagining like it's a 3D model, all right, of a horse. It has no animations. It's just like moving forward like a car, and it's like tilting left and right to turn. It's just,
I was just having too much fun with this chapter of like he finally found his feet. When did he lose his feet? When did he lose them?
Good question. There, Finn shouted, pointing at the cliff. It's there! A way out of Deridia! Aerie stared. The huge wooden door was set into the side of the cliff. The scepter, milady, Chase shouted. She pulled the scepter out and held it up. With a groan and a creak, the door swung open. We won the race, she shouted, her voice clear and confident. We passed the trial by fire. Darkness gaped beyond the open door. Aerie rode Chase straight into it. Finn Rednall crowded behind her. With a mighty clang of the wooden door swung shut, right into the Shadow Rider's face. Chase charged forward, his hoofs slipped on the stones. They fell forward into the deeper black than she had ever seen before.
Actual Looney Tunes shit with the Shadow Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think IKM's out of pins. No, I got more. I just can't remember most of them. I'll be 100% honest.
I thought you had, like, them all written down.
Exactly. I don't remember them. They're written down. I'll get more as we move to the next part of the book.
Yeah, at
Right.
least they're not completely gone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now this, Finn shouted with joy, is a lot better than Deridia.
now this
Aerie
is pod
blinked.
racing.
Oh my god.
Aerie blinked, rubbed her eyes, and sat up. There was sand in her hair. The sound of waves and seagulls bewildered her. The sun was high in the blue sky. Where were they?
Pins, Kaiser, they harden in response to physical trauma.
You can't hurt me, Kaiser.
Holy shit. I wish I play Metal Gear Rising Revengeance so I would know.
Oh, dude,
have you not?
it's such a good game.
You can get through it in like 3 hours.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's only like a 5-hour
I
game in your first playthrough.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. Do I already have it in my Steam library? Let me check.
Doctor,
off my-
turn up
My cringe
cringe
inhibitors.
inhibitors.
It's time for Jack to let her rip.
Let it rip.
Memes, the DNA of the soul.
Let me see.
Pin,
son.
son.
Oh, I do have it in my Steam. I don't know how long I've had it, but yeah, I could probably play it at some point.
So they are on a beach, and somehow Finn has taken off Rednall's gear, so he is riding him bareback along the sand.
Kinky?
Oh my god. Corner.
Down
now.
boy. Yeah, corner, down boy. Ari, blinking back tears, threw her arms around his neck and hugged him until she had no hugs left. I just thought that was a stupid line.
No,
Oh.
yeah, I can get it.
My hug was it's like, you know when you ride Epona in Ocarina of Time and you have the little carrots at the bottom?
Oh,
She
yeah.
has like hugs
Yep.
that need to recharge.
What happened, Chase? How did we get here? And where is here? We don't know, Chase said.
Just see Ansem the Wise on the fucking shoreline, just chilling out. I've been here
Yep, all
before.
hooded up.
I will be here again.
I mean, actually, kind of, yeah. Like, Chase said, we fell through that tunnel for a long time. You passed out on my back. I think you may have hit your head as we fell. We landed here on a place of fresh water and bright sun. Finn found Dr. Bones' bag and rubbed your temples with the salve that healed my leg. Then you fell into a deep natural sleep. He nodded toward the perimeter where the beach ended and a wildflower meadow began. There is a clear stream there. I will take you to drink. It's beautiful here. Ari rubbed her head. She could feel a welt on her forehead. But where is here? You'll discover that in time, the scepter said from between the folds of her skirt.
What the fuck kind of use are you?
So I found you unconscious, so I just started ruffling through your fucking bag and rubbed some random salve on your head and hoped that worked.
He really wanted to touch
imagine. Oh, sorry.
her. No, I was just making a bit of a joke.
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I talked over it. What did you say?
I said he just really wanted to touch her while she was asleep.
I was going to say, like, what would happen if that cream was just conditioner? So she just they just rubbed all over it and did fucking nothing.
I mean, if we're talking about doing fucking nothing, the scepter, you will learn that in time. Fucking
my
excuse
God.
you.
What? Yeah, Scepter, do you have a fucking point? You're the most redundant magical item I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
honestly-
dude, this is
Yeah.
Atlanta at home.
Yeah. Like, I would assume, though, that Finn knew that the cream would do something because she was rubbing it all over Chase, so it wouldn't be conditioner.
Leo, I'm sorry, I tuned out. Why is there a scepter in her skirt? Look, man, you don't ask that question, all right? You don't want that answer.
No way.
I
What do you
haven't.
mean, thanks to that? Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I haven't installed the spray bottle yet.
Are they going to be able to spray us whenever we make dirty jokes?
Yes, and each other. Which is in itself a dirty joke. You're welcome.
Yes. Is this the second challenge? Maybe, maybe not, the scepter said in an infuriating way. All I want to say is that none of this would be happening if you hadn't taken me out of Balinor. But I didn't know this would happen. That's true, Chase said. We didn't know, but that doesn't change anything.
So we kill this fucking scepter, right?
Just,
Yeah,
she
yo,
should have
like
just
this-
dropped it into the fire pits.
Yeah, like you were the one who told us to be on this fucking quest. What the fuck you mean this would have happened if you hadn't taken me out of Balinor? You were captive, bitch.
Scepter, I'm a data analyst, but my real skill is bullshitting people.
I mean, Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's court.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Hey, this is bad unicorn, not bad dragon.
Oh.
Okay, ban that guy. Ban him.
Hey,
Mods, ban him.
Mods, find that man's house.
So, Ari does ask about Lori and Lincoln, because they are still back in Deridia and Captain Treadwell. Trust in the deep magic, the Scepter said crossly.
Cool.
Great. So, do I go somewhere, or do I just stay here and wait for things to happen to me, Scepter?
To quote something, the best part of it is it doesn't answer my fucking question.
I was about to
Yep.
say, does the deep magic have a map? Is the deep magic gonna take me to the nearest fucking Airbnb? I'm fucking hungry out here. The last thing I had was some freaking rank ass piece of bread and some sour juice.
Gonna start eating our fucking unicorns.
So, the Scepter says that they will rejoin the others if they complete the trial. They don't have a choice.
Wait. The best part about it, go back a little, because I do actually kind of go through this. Because the Scepter says, never mind, I'm going back to sleep. Wake me up when you finish the job, if you finish the job.
What fucking job?
This might be one of the most useless fucking magical
lost
items ever.
I lost it at that sentence of just like, you sleep? You're a fucking Scepter.
It doesn't even have a personality, which kind of sucks. It's not like, let's say, like frickin' Rubelax from Wakfu.
Yeah.
He has a very defined personality. He's a complete asshole for very clear reasons because he's a demon. No, the Scepter is just a dick.
All I gotta say is this guy has nothing on Grimoire Weiss, okay?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, seriously, all in favor of going back and throwing him in one of those freaking pits.
The eyes have it.
So says the Jack Council.
So, they chill out for a while, sit by the brook. They're happy. They have huge tropical flowers. The burdens of being a princess seemed far away. She's they're picking ripe fruit from the trees and they're eating it and they're very juicy and tasty. I do believe that Rednall and Finn saved our lives, she said after a long moment. Why do you suppose Atalanta chose him to ride Rednall? I do not know. He is a brave young man, and he hates the shifter. Then Chase added thoughtfully, Rednall says that he rides well. You might consider giving him a place in the royal cavalry when we regain the throne. There's still the next challenge to meet, Ari said. The ordeal by moonlight. She leaped to her feet, and the memory of the challenge an unpleasant cloud in her mood. I'll race you to the beach. Chase won, of course. He raced ahead of her and then rolled in the sand as if he were a colt again. Ari pulled off her boots and took off her vest.
I'll refrain from making comment here.
Why?
I feel like I could lead into any number of jokes with this, but I'm just not.
Okay, well, before Raymond becomes certified for something, I think that's a nice sequence.
Yeah, it's pleasant.
Yeah, I find it really interesting that immediately it's like, yeah, Finn did something for us. Let's let him join the Royal Cavalry when we get our throne back.
Yeah, that's a bit of an extreme. That's a jump. Maybe let him take the entrance exam. We'll go with that.
Nah.
Oh my gosh. Though it does make me wonder what will happen with his family now that he escaped, but I'm guessing we'll never really get any
Oh, his
insight
family's
on
dead
that.
after this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
easy.
Shooter's like,
Yeah.
you betrayed us. Time to die.
Yep.
Yeah,
Teddy bear lore. EAS, the Teddy Mountain militia was soundly defeated and General Samlet basked in his victory, certain he'd crushed the nascent rebellion that very day. He knew not his enemy.
Ooh, that's kind of cryptic, actually.
Yeah, he's fucked.
Yep.
He is Finn the human. I tried watching that show. I just wasn't interested in it.
Sorry, what show?
Adventure Time.
Oh, okay. I used to watch it a lot. I never really finished it all the way through because there were just like so many spills where new episodes didn't really happen or didn't really show up on Cartoon Network, or I just missed them. And I'm all like, I lost so much track of this. I'm not sure what's happening. So
No,
I'll try
I
to come
binge
back to
watched
this
it.
later.
Yeah, I binge watched it online, but I'm not really a episodic kind of person. I really don't like watching shows that don't really seem to have a plot to them. And the majority of the show very early on seemed to be mostly just episodic bullshit with a little bit of a plot in the background, but very far away, and to the point where I just didn't care enough to keep watching to get to that eventually.
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Oh, you would have hated the Wandering Inn then.
The Wandering Inn? I've never heard of that.
It's one of the longest pieces of fiction ever. I think they crossed like 12 million words in total.
Damn.
Oh wow, yeah.
For reference, by the way, the entire Harry Potter series is 1 million.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And the entirety of the Wheel of Time is 8 million.
Damn.
Okay, but how's the
Yeah.
Bible looking?
The Bible's actually not that long.
It isn't, no. I think they still haven't gotten to the main plot of the entire story. It's just a bunch of world building chapters, effectively.
Ugh, gross. I'm sorry. I love world building, but there is a reason why we call it world builder's disease. This person has it.
He's got world builderitis.
Is it longer than Loud House Reloaded? I don't know.
I have no idea what that is, so I can't comment.
It's like the longest work in the English language.
Not House Reloaded.
Is that like a fanfic? Is that what
I think so.
Yeah, it's like the
I thought that I thought that the longest one was like a Smash Bros fanfic.
I think it trades
Yeah, that's
on
what I
and off.
heard.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's being
The longest
contested.
form of literature ever written, The Loud House Revamped. And it's sitting at 15 million words.
Damn.
That was
Wow.
3 years ago.
Mm.
Is it longer than Homestuck? Guys, we're not going off the needlessly long thing.
Okay.
I think that put us into a tangent.
On short notice, as far as I can tell, it is now over 31 million words.
Jesus.
Wow.
Anyway,
My God.
Aerie goes swimming with Rednall and Finn, and I thought that was sweet. The blue twilight reigned for only a short while, then the moon came up, huge and golden. It was swollen with light like one of the tropical fruits they had munched on during the day. I thought that was a bit of a stupid line.
It's the fruit, isn't it?
Yeah. It was swollen like one of the fruits I ate earlier.
Cool.
I mean,
That's a
yeah.
that's just a unpleasant description.
Yeah.
It sounds like I'm eating a tumor.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's fucking gross.
Finn, who had announced that he was tired of fruit, fashioned a net and dried the fronds of a palm tree, and emerged triumphant from the sea with 2 fat fish. Then, to Aries' amazement, he produced a box of waterproof matches from his pocket and built a small fire.
Why is Finn so fucking goated?
Hell yeah.
I know, right?
Also, Nameless, no, it is not suitable for bad fan fiction night. That is 31. No. No.
I would like to finish this next century.
Yeah, for real.
Ugh. Yeah, no. Just, there are some things that you should just not touch, and this
I also know
person
nothing
seems
about
like,
Loud House, so like that doesn't help.
Yeah,
Right.
that too. I also know nothing about that, and I have no idea how anyone would. I don't think shows like that really had substance enough to make 30 million.
I just
word
don't know what
fanfics
to
from.
talk about for 30 million words. I'll be 100% honest.
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, I'm just afraid of catching a case because people are weird about that Loud House online, okay? And I'm talking
Really?
like, yeah, in certain spaces, yeah.
I know Loud House is wildly popular for some reason.
I mean,
I know-
a lot of it was just.
I don't have an opinion on it.
A lot of
I
it
think
was
a lot
what?
of it is just because of the differing characters that are in there, and like all of them are very like one note but very distinct personalities.
Oh, but
but-
that's. Ugh.
Nameless, okay, I'll just stick to recommending Daikari King My Can stuff. You don't need to recommend that stuff. That's already on the list.
Yeah, we already got that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was mandatory.
Yeah, when did the Loud House come out? Was that during like the drought of good cartoons too?
I think so.
Effectively, it was like
It was 2016.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I want to say 2013 to about 2020. There just seems to be like a drought of good cartoons. Like there's the occasional one here and there, but a lot of them are more like very sparse, and so
Yep.
like I can see why that became popular because there's just nothing good on.
Yeah, especially on Nick, and it's something else other than this sponge. And admittedly, the first season or so was all right. I remember watching that and thinking like, yeah, okay, this is a charming show.
Okay, yeah. Like I hate being the person of being like back in my day, but like genuinely like there were so many good shows back in the day when we were kids, and now I just feel so bad for the kids now, where the majority of the good shows these days seem to be more for older kids or teenagers rather than children.
Yeah.
What were the really good ones back then?
Hey, don't listen, don't
like Powerpuff Girls.
Don't get old.
Freaking
Oh yeah,
Dexter's Lab.
Powerpuff Girls, Ed, Edd n Eddy, Codename Kids Next Door,
Gargoyles.
Ben 10.
Gargoyles was
Ben
great.
10,
Ben
the
10.
original Ben 10.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
Foster's Home was like at the tail end of the really good stuff.
Samurai Jack, yes.
Samurai
Yes.
Jack. Oh my god.
Then you had Then you had like the first big anime wave back in the day.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And then that's just going into the Cartoon Network. Then there's all the shit that Disney Channel had. Like
Yeah,
Kim
like Disney
Possible.
Channel had Kim Possible, Rescue Rangers, what else did they have?
Rescue Rangers, Chip and Dale, no strangers.
Yeah, Proud Family.
Captain Planet, Thundercats, yeah. Oh, Symbiotic Titan. That was pretty good.
Oh, I
I never
rewatched that
got
show
into that.
recently. I rewatched that show like 2 months ago. It holds up so fucking well.
Everything that I've shown you for my Canadian, showing you guys my childhood cartoons and shows.
Does anyone remember
All of
Generator
that?
Rex?
I
Yes.
remember it. I've never watched it.
I don't think the ending of it ever really aired on Cartoon Network, though. I mean,
It had the best scene for a kid that gets basically sneaks out of his house to go on a date, gets caught by his handler, and he like this like standard secret agent guy is like, you're reckless, you're stupid, and you're acting completely like a boy your age. Wait, what?
yeah, I
Okay.
remember that. Scene. That was so
Courage the
funny.
Cowardly Dog. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That was a great cartoon.
Megas XLR.
Megas
yeah.
XLR.
Yeah. I haven't watched that in ages.
dig giant robots. You dig giant robots. We dig giant robots. Chicks dig giant robots.
Oh, no. Actually, it was more geared towards the mature side, but the original Teen Titans show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Teen
absolutely.
Titans.
And
Hi,
Young
Puppy
Justice
Ami
back
Yumi.
when it was good.
Ooh.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Young Justice back when it was good.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone grew up Teen Titans Go? No. Go home. Leave.
No. Ew.
Teen Titans
Disgusting.
go home.
Teen
Titans Go Home.
Johnny Bravo is good. Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go is I wasn't a big fan myself.
It wasn't. It was very episodic, but Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and the Mystery Incorporated Scooby Doo that they had for that animation.
I mean,
that era.
honestly,
American
all the
Dragon?
Scooby-Doo cartoons. I love What's New Scooby-Doo.
I liked Archie's Weird Mysteries.
Oh my god, okay, somebody else remembers that one.
Yeah.
Did anyone say? No, you first.
Go
Man.
ahead.
Totally Spies.
Go ahead, I know.
Yeah, Totally Spies. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, Totally Spies.
Did anyone mention that yet?
No, I remember American
Not
Dragon
yet.
Jake Long. Yeah, I love that show. I
I wasn't-
caught it more rarely, but Juniper Lee was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. That was a little bit rare for me, but I remember enjoying that show. I think I didn't really enjoy it as much because that was basically Jackie Chan Adventures at Home.
Oh yeah.
Jackie Chan Adventures was also good. I only
Yes.
the
Jackie Chan
first
Adventures.
2 or 3 seasons. After that, it kind of got weird. I remember. Anyway,
There's also
I was gonna say Balinor.
that is true. We should
Yeah,
move
we're
past
just
this.
going back. It's like, hey guys, remember all the stuff we really liked when we were kids? Oh right,
Yeah.
Balinor. Fuck.
Speaking of things we didn't like when we were kids,
Yeah, for real.
I mean, I did like it as a kid, but I very quickly recognized that it was not very good writing still as a kid. Oh yeah, also I highlighted that because that was the first time I paid attention to them eating fish. But I did note that they were eating fish earlier on. So this is the second time that they're now eating fish.
on that pescatarian diet.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for helping Chase and me win the first trial, she said. But why did you do it? Finn poked at Finn poked at the fire with his toe. Why?
Yeah.
Get a stick!
Get a stick, please.
You better not have sandals on at least.
I would imagine that he has riding boots on, but maybe. No, he did go swimming, so he probably took them off, so I don't know. The tips of his ears were red. I hated what happened to Deridia. After the shifter took over, everything changed. He wrinkled his nose in disgust. I didn't think that I could do anything about it. I mean, my parents depend on the villagers to come to the inn and keep the business open. We hate the shifter, all 3 of us. But what could we do? What could I do against him and his men? And the shadow unicorns, he shuddered, and tossed another branch into the fire. Anyway, last night after I met you, the tips of his ears turned brighter pink. I had this dream. He raised his eyes. His face was filled with wonder. The most beautiful unicorn came to me. She said she had the saddest violet eyes. She said you needed a champion, and that she would send someone to help me be your champion. He gave Rednall an amused look. So when Big Red here showed up, I was ready. I'm glad you were, Aerie said softly.
It just occurred to me, where's Lori?
Oh fuck!
Where's
We
Lincoln?
talked about that earlier.
Yeah, we talked about that. Don't worry about them. Just trust the deep magic. Remember?
Okay. Trust, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, is that the excuse Mary always just trust the deep magic? And it's like, I feel uncomfortable. T.S. As we marched through the forest away from the fort and the corpses of too many friends, the witch spoke to us, told us we had more friends than we thought, that our cousins waited.
Ooh, cousins. Are they the gummy bears?
Oh no! Or it's the Care Bears.
No, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think he said last stream
the
that
Care
the cousins
Bears.
are the Care Bears. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I really like that scene, and it kind of did set up a bit of a romantic dynamic between him and Ari.
Yeah, immediately champion, princess. It's got an energy.
Yeah.
It does. It really does.
Yeah, these two would get shipped overnight.
I mean, they are a good dynamic for this book.
Right.
Have to clarify, for this book.
For this book. Ah, fuck.
If I get on my Balinor rewrite, I am going real hard with this relationship. Like Hugo and Amalia.
Yeah.
Finn shrugged his shoulders and rolled the coconut over in the sand. You'll never get that open, Finn, Chase said with a mischievous look in his eye. He bent down his forelegs and neatly opened the hard shell with a slash of his ebony horn. The inside of the fruit was black. A horrible odor arose from the two halves. Finn made a disgusted face. Ari, her heart hammering, knew what that awful smell meant. This was the shifter's work. She waited a long moment before she picked up the halves. She picked up the piece of paper folded inside and read, "Catch the rose. Moonlight diving competition. All competitors welcome."
What the hell?
And at the bottom of the note, a white rose was inscribed. Its petals were deformed and insects crawled at its heart. The rose itself was twisted around a malignant shape, a monstrous squid. Its beak gaped wide. A single dark red eye glowed at her. "What is it, Ari?" Finn asked. "Nothing," she said hastily.
What? Okay, you know you can trust him now, right? He's in on it.
Yeah.
You'd think, yeah.
You can tell, okay, well, we got our next mission. Come on, champ.
Yeah, but nah.
Also, what would happen if they never tried opening that?
Yeah, like, what was your plan, Entia, the shifter, our enemy? Oh, a coconut. Well, I got some fruits over here. I might as well eat that instead of trying to open this thing. It's really notoriously hard to open.
Yeah, it's not like you have, like, I don't know, messenger birds or some shit.
So, Ari leaned back on her elbows inside the dying fire. Maybe she had a little more time. A day, perhaps. Maybe 2. Chase was exhausted from the violence of the steeplechase. She was, too. If she had just a little more time to relax, to get to know Finn better. She wanted to tell him who she really was. She knew, somehow, that she could trust the red-haired boy. And she needed friends in this terrifying journey to win her homeland back.
What do you mean, somehow? He got a message from Atalanta and was riding the fucking brother of your horse.
And
yeah, is that not good enough?
And this, by the way, is where I really noticed that every other paragraph ends with an exclamation point.
Yeah, I noticed that before, too. I was, like,
Yeah.
a little bit weirded out by it. I thought it was, like... I thought that was something that always happened, but I guess not.
No, it's
Everything
very
is just
inconsistent.
really excited. Everything is just really excited. All the time. Everything is exciting.
Of course.
I don't like it.
She closed her eyes, safe under the watchful gaze of Chase, Rednall, and Finn. Strange to think that the fire could be so cozy here, and so terrifying in the claws of the shifter. "What's the matter?" Finn asked abruptly. "You look sad." "Nothing." Ari rubbed her hands over her face. In the friendly shadows beyond the fire, Chase was asleep on his feet. Rednall snoozed beside him. A night bird chirped happily in the rustling treetops. I wish that you didn't have to go back to your home in Sixton. Ari looked straight at him. She couldn't tell him the truth. Not yet. How did you know that? I feel just like you must feel, he said simply. I know that you are nobly born, but you said that your family lost its fortune. In a way, Ari said cautiously. So you have to depend on someone else for food and feel like you and your unicorn for the clothes. Sorry. You have to depend on someone else for food to feed you and your unicorn, for the clothes on your back, for the boots on your feet. And because you depend on them, they control you. You don't have any freedom. Well, I have freedom now, and so do you, Ari. It's great. We can do anything we want. And we can ride Rednall and chase anywhere. We can both be free. Ari shook her head. I can't, Finn. I have a job to do. The race through the fire? It's not the only challenge I have to pass. There's something waiting here, too. An ordeal by moonlight. I can help. I don't think you can. Not this time. She fought back tears. It's too hard, this job I have to do, she admitted in a low voice. I wish I could stay here forever. Finn gave her a sympathetic look. He blushed a little. I know that you're not an ordinary person. For one thing, you can use magic. Some, Ari said a little hesitantly. So whoever you are, Ari from Sixton, we're bound to have some pretty interesting adventures. And that's all that I want out of life right now. A chance. Just a chance to do something different. Ari brought her knees up to her chin and stared thoughtfully into the fire. I will tell you all of it. Someday. Someday soon.
Why not now?
Yeah, why not now?
Well, dude, wait, actually, no, you can't ask that. The scepter's asleep, don't you know?
Oh,
right. I guess
I was about to say, she's picking up the scepter's habits.
And then Finn slowly becomes Harry because it's new trial by moonlight. He is a werewolf.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Outside of that very stupid ending, I did like that whole sequence, though.
Yeah, it was a good exchange.
Really good.
It's something unique in a story like this of just like, okay, we have a slow down chat because like after you have the big action scene, you can't keep bombarding your audience with action. You got to slow things down a little bit, let them rest, let them like absorb everything, and then that's like prime character development opportunity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is just average. We are just at average writing.
Yep. But
I love it so much.
Yeah, but because we've read the other 3 books, this is just a breath of fresh air. I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I would probably consider maybe. I mean, I guess this is me following my gut a little bit. But I would consider this like, slightly above average, probably like a soft 6.
Yeah, it's fine. This book's good as everyone else's average. Yes. Yes. No, this book's great as everyone else's average.
Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
How many books are left? We have 5 more after. No, sorry, we have 4 more after this.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, because we have to end on an odd number.
And for being sent hieroglyphics by Leo Medusa.
Oh, cool.
Oh my god. Wait, what?
That actually appears on the Streamlabs. That's wild. Okay.
Oh, neat.
I wasn't aware ancient Sumerian was recognized by text.
I wonder if it can understand ancient Egypt.
The greatest enemy.
Ancient Egypt.
I have to... My Photoshop doesn't recognize runes, so I have to take pictures of them and manually save them onto my computer and import them into Photoshop.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it sucks. But yeah, I do like that Finn is kind of tempting her here. Not maliciously, but just like the call of freedom and the tempting of that.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of riding a high right now, and he almost wants to like just elope with her almost. to go off
Right.
on adventures.
Yeah, but it's not like, completely shown as him just being completely wanderlusted,
Yeah.
Like, and we pretty much already understand just from the previous dialogue about why he feels that way.
Yeah. And he's shown time and again that he's just immediately devoted to her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 12. The night wore on. They all slept. Eri woke from a dream of Atlanta. The dream speaker was standing next to a pair of scales, the scales of magic. The scales were almost balanced, but not quite. It was time for the second challenge. Eri was seized by a powerful urge to walk the beach. She tucked the royal scepter near Finn's outstretched hand. If anything happened to her, Chase would see that Finn carried it to safety. She checked the knife at her belt. Barefoot, she walked along the water's edge.
So you trust him enough to leave the fucking scepter next to him, but not enough to tell him who you are.
Apparently not.
Yeah, it seems legit.
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I could see getting rid of that fucking scepter. So, right.
And then she goes for a run, splashing in the water for the sheer joy of it. Her legs, broken and scarred from her very first trip through the gap, when she had first been sent to Glacier River Farm, were whole and strong again.
Okay, it's good to know. Putting a pin in that, just in case that comes up again.
Yep.
You should.
She turned to stare out at the ocean, to impress the memory of this place forever in her mind. The heavy moonlight made a golden path on the water. It looked solid enough to walk on. The moonlight began just at the water's edge, right in front of her toes. It stretched out onto the little bay that formed the beach. Eri narrowed her eyes to see. It was almost as if... No, the moonlight path did end at a mound of black rock. And on the rock was a figure washed around with silver. Were there mermaids here, in this wondrous place? Eri, the voice was low and kind. Eri, walk out and see me. Can I walk on the water? Eri said. The figure raised one arm. A ball of silver light spun from its fingers and rolled along the golden path. Now try, the mysterious stranger said. Eri shrugged and put one bare foot onto the edge of the water.
Okay, stranger, I don't know. I'm just going to trust your word on this.
I was going to say the Odyssey told me what to do in this situation.
Get in the water?
Now get in the water.
Oh my god.
Now get in the water. You know what? Yeah, Ari. I was gonna say Ari is starting to edge out in terms of intelligence, but no, I'm sorry. She's flatly dumber than the Ray in Lily's story.
Rival, get in the water, Shinji.
Unfortunately,
get in the water, Shinji. Or else Finn will have to do it. No, Lori will have to do it again.
Oh my gosh.
She's still alive, isn't she? Yes, sir.
So she walked toward the black rock. Come closer, the voice invited. Caution held Eri back, but the ocean was so calm, the night so beautiful, and the voice so kind. There couldn't be any danger here. There isn't, the silvery figure stirred on the rocks. Eri couldn't really see it. No, her, she decided. It was a woman's voice that called her. Eri, half laughing, filled with gentle reproach, the woman stretched her arms out. Come to me. A mermaid. Her silvery tail slapped the water gently. Her long silver hair fell about her shoulders to her waist, and her eyes. Did she see a red glint in them? There was a flash of the shifter's own fiery gaze. Eri stood still. So she's not entirely stupid. And I'm going to assume that the mermaid is kind of putting some sort of spell on her, because that's kind of what mermaids do. But she has enough sense about her to not fully fall for it.
all I'm seeing is a double standard, okay? Imagine if that were a male mermaid. Just saying.
A male maid.
A male maid. Also, if Ari is Shinji in this situation, I posted this in chat, does that make Chase Misato?
Yes.
Okay, that explains everything.
The mermaid held out her hand. She held a rose. It was white. Eri could see the wilted leaves, the insects crawling around the decaying heart. So this was it, the second challenge. She held out the rose, a mocking smile on her lips. Then she dropped it into the depths of the sea. Eri clenched her fist, then took a deep breath. She dove straight as an arrow into the waves. She spiraled down into the water, her bronze hair floating behind her. Above her, she could see the heavy moon through the ceiling of the ocean. Below, the rose spun down into a translucent green world. There was a quick, sinuous movement next to her in the water. Eri turned slowly, kicking her feet and holding her breath. The mermaid flashed by, arms by her sides, kicking strongly as she headed into the city beneath the waves. The knife edge of her tail slashed to Eri's ankles, drawing blood from Eri's foot, which made a brownish cloud, spreading silently around her. Silently?
I mean,
no, the blood spread loudly around her because it's like the Osmosis Jones blood vessels that are really loud.
That was a good movie.
I know Ariel has gone evil again.
Fuck.
The shifters underwater. Yeah, it does happen. The shifters underwater city. Houses and roads and palaces of jagged coral were, oops, I did not read that.
Yeah, I was going to say you
revealed.
moved a bit.
Yep. By the mysterious green light. A giant squid stared up at Eri with an evil red eyes. Mermaids and mermen with sword-tipped tails swam leisurely along. Dark seahorses with flat eyes drew carts along the roads made of lava rocks so sharp it could cut flesh to ribbons. The white rose spun deeper and deeper. Eri needed to breathe. She let the last of her breath go in a spume of bubbles. She had to get to the surface. She had to breathe. But she would dive down again and get the rose.
I mean, I can't tell if this is a dream or if this is actually happening.
It's technically happening, yeah.
Technically, yes.
The best kind of technically.
Indeed.
How do you have the ability to swim down so deep?
She's secretly, her father is secretly Tom Cruise.
Fair.
It is that kind of fiction logic, because everyone in movies, in anime, in cartoons, they all seem to have, like, the breath that lasts you 20 minutes.
She got the silver scale from Ocarina of Time.
No, it's the, isn't it the big meme of, like, yeah, hold your breath as long as the people in movies hold their breath? I nearly died watching Finding Nemo.
Holy shit, that's
water pressure never met her.
No, that's the new Mission Impossible movie, if you've seen that.
And now we're fighting against
try
Cthulhu.
holding your breath for
Also
as long as freaking Shark Tale.
I remember this book. It's Done and Gone.
Done and Gone?
The Shifter just has an underwater city. Was this established before?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
The challenge just said diving competition. We don't even know what that meant. I thought it would be more formal, like the race, but I guess it's just walk randomly to a spot on the beach, get enticed by a mermaid, and then drown.
You know, like the synchronized diving that they have? Imagine if Ari and Chase had to do that. Like, they both get on, like, a diving board and they both do a synchronized dive.
Yeah.
Also, how
Malik.
How is this a competition if nobody else is in it?
Because shut up.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
Oh shit, my phone died.
Oh, dang.
Why were seahorses dragging things like normal horses? They swim. It's basically zero gravity.
Do you understand the absolute complexities of underwater bullshit?
Yeah. A huge sate burst out of the water. Razor teeth snapped at her wrist. Eri drew her knife and slashed without pausing to think. The knife drew dark blood from one of the many arms. The creature recoiled, bellowing, thrashing wildly with its tentacles. She'd encountered this monster before. It was Cistern, the horrible creature of the shifter that guarded the palace moat. Cistern's beak snapped at her hands. Salt water stung her eyes. The wind rose, whipping her hair into her face. Eri slashed harder at Cistern's tentacles. She drew greenish blood, which looked almost black in the moonlight. If she could just reach the creature's eye. She thrust upward. Her knife tore into spongy flesh. Cistern's shriek froze Eri's heart and stopped her breath. Cistern sank hissing and shrieking beneath the boiling waves. And there in the middle of the whirlpool was the rose. This is just Charybdis. Speaking of Odysseus.
Which just underwater nonsense worse? This or Project Alpha? Project Alpha.
Project Alpha. We haven't gotten any goo. We have
there's
no goo.
here. Do you have more Teddy Bear Paladin? CPS. General Samlet thought the TMM laid entirely at the fort. The roving bands in the woods, eager for payback, would dash that idea. He awoke to the sound of musket fire. Freaking muskets now? Oh my god.
We had artillery, dude.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
Yeah. That's terrifying though, being awoken to the sound of like artillery.
Yep.
You just hear
Eri set her teeth and plunged into the water. She swam hard against the whirling current. The water now was cold, and the moonlight path from the rocks to the shore had been dissolved by whatever evil magic had summoned Cistern from the ocean's depths. I don't like Cistern's name because I keep fumbling it.
I just keep rolling it as sister. And second, there's no universe where you are fighting against a whirlpool's rapids. I'm sorry, lady.
Yeah.
Not happening.
You're a horse expert. Stay in that lane. You're not very much water expert.
They have
muskets now. They have muskets now.
So I'll be right back.
The rose. She had to get the rose. Eri took a deep breath and plunged down, down, down. Cold current swept through her trailing hair. She held her eyes open, straining to see the white flower, lit by the yellow-green of the shifter's underwater city, and the glow of the huge moon above. Her fingertips brushed it, but it swirled out of reach. She kicked harder, her breath bursting in her chest. On the far side of the coral city below, a small army of mermaids and mermen gathered. And then Eri reached, grabbed. The rose was hers. She clutched it, and the thorns tore her hand. She swam blindly to the surface. She broke free from the water, grasping for air. Dark clouds scudded across the sky, hiding the tropical moon.
What is scudded?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not the only one lost. All right, let me look it up.
I can't. I don't have my phone anymore.
To scud is to move fast in a straight line because, or as if driven by the wind.
Ah.
Okay. Yeah, that applies. All right.
No, that's neat, but scud.
Yes, scud.
Scud.
It's a very odd word, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I still do find it very fascinating that this book just has this vocabulary that I've never seen before in other books.
I refuse to believe that's a word.
Children's.
That's not a word.
It's a word.
I refuse.
It is a word.
I refuse. That's not a word.
I refuse.
Well, I refuse your refusal.
I reject your reality
Oh.
in favor of my own.
Reverse Uno.
Mm-hmm.
So I do want to say, for my rewrite, I was thinking of kind of changing this challenge to be a lot more like the challenges that Link faced during Skyward Sword. Those...
Oh, going into a different world and you have to gather the tears and such?
Yeah, those.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, because those were kind of terrifying, and it really, yeah, and it really does feel like it's befitting of the term ordeal by moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
Her legs, which had been feeling whole and healthy again, began to cramp. Well, that didn't last long.
Yeah. That's probably just the pressure of the water you're under.
She's at the surface now.
Oh, Ben's, yeah, that's worse.
I was going to say, the Ben's about to get her.
Aerie stopped, treaded water again, and rubbed futilely at her calves. Seawater slapped into her mouth and nose. She inhaled a great gulp and choked on the bitter taste. The waves rose over her head. She glanced backward. The mer people rose in a body from the waves. They grinned horribly, showing pointed teeth. Aerie kicked and swam. And she's just crying for Chase. Yep, swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Her arms arched with the effort of staying afloat. The rose drew blood from her tightly clenched fingers. The sudden storm was fierce, and she could no longer see the shoreline. I won't give up, she said to herself. I will not give up.
The plot'll save me, I just know it.
All you had to do was not open this bag.
Yeah.
Or,
Chase's ult is coming.
Horse husband. Milady?
God.
Chase? He was there. Somehow, in the noise and torment of the storm, he had found her. He took a breath, ducked under, and she felt his back on her feet. He rose up, swimming strongly. She grabbed his mane with a cold hand, and he pulled her on with his breath steady, his hide a living warmth in the cold sea. The eerie wails of the mer people came closer.
I still don't quite understand how hooved and animals swim. Like, I don't understand I guess, for lack of better terms, the hydrodynamics of it.
Weirdly enough, they operate similar on like doggy paddle type rules, and horses are actually really good natural swimmers.
Oh, really? Okay. I mean, like,
they're not fantastic, but you put them in a lake or something, yeah, they'll swim.
Okay, all right. Just color me confused on how that works, but I guess so.
Well, I think it has to do with the water. Like, the water is enough that if you paddle with anything, you will have movement. It's just depending on how good your paddles are. You have a stick, you're gonna move. You're not gonna move very well, but you'll move. You have something like our hands, you'll move fairly well. If you web your hands, you will move fantastically.
So is it true that glue comes from horses? It used to. I don't think so anymore.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't. And to answer things further, like the reason why we assume, horses aren't that good in naval situations is because, well, you usually don't bring horses to any kind of naval conflict. You just bring them, you take them on a boat, you take them off the boat. That's where it comes from, as well as the fact that horses are just like us. If you weigh them down with a bunch of gear, they won't, they're natural swimmers, but they won't be able to just
they can't stay buoyant. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not immediately intuitive.
Correct.
Yeah. An eternity of wind and waves passed before Chase found the sand, and they stumbled on shore. Finn was there with Rednall. Finn held a stout branch ready to attack if the mer people appeared from the waves. Rednall's bright horn was lowered menacingly. The wind whipped Rednall's mane around his horn and tumbled Finn's red hair into spikes. "We didn't think you'd make it," the boy shouted into the tumult. "Are you okay?"
Everyone noticed, by the way, Finn grabbed a stick. Boy was this close to throwing fucking hands.
Yep.
He
He
was.
was ready. He was ready.
He was very ready.
This is actually a personal note. Like, with how this was going, I likened Finn to sort of how the characterization for Sam was in Fellowship, of just like, if you remember in Fellowship of the Ring, they bust into like Aragorn and Frodo's room. The two other hobbits, Merry and Pippin, have something in their hands. Sam was there just with his meat mittens ready to bust up.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of energy that I have from Sam right now. Not for Finn, I apologize.
"I made it," she gasped. "Do you have the scepter?" "What?" "I said, do you have the scepter?" "Yes." Finn struggled with a bundle of clothes under his arm and detangled the scepter. Ari lurched towards it and took it in both hands. "Hey!" she shouted at it. She held the rose in front of the wooden head. "Hey! This was the second challenge. The ordeal by moonlight. We won, Chase and I. Now get us out of here." "That's telling it," Finn shouted. He jumped up and down, raising his fist in the air. The rosewood scepter glowed with a blue light. The wooden head blinked, perhaps from the stinging sand. "Well?" Ari demanded. "Question," Rednall shouted. "What?" "I said you have to ask it a question." "Oh."
Well, I guess
Right,
she doesn't
forgot about
care
that.
anymore about whether or not to keep it secret from Finn. Finn seems to kind of know what's going on a little bit. He's like, that's telling it. Like,
telling it.
did you see her talk to the fucking scepter? I can't remember if he did or not.
No.
Nope.
It's the bit that I have for it. It's like, how do you know what this thing is?
How do you know anything at this point? This crazy girl ran off and almost got drowned.
She was in her mood.
So Ari brings the scepter close to her lips and says, "Which is the way out?" "Congratulations," the scepter said. "You've passed the second challenge, and the way out? It's right this way."
Scepter, you don't have any fingers.
You
Can
know,
you, like,
yeah, I was about to say.
describe the direction?
Yeah, which way is this way?
It's right this way. Can you turn me like 95 degrees south?
Which way south?
The storm was so deafening, Ari wasn't sure afterward exactly how they found their way off the tropical island and back to the world of Balinor. Lightning cracked again and again, illuminating the thundering waves in violet flashes. Ari and Finn mounted the unicorns. Ari led the way, the scepter held in front of her like a beacon. They found a wooden door, sunk horizontally into the sand. Finn struggled off Rednall and opened it. When they descended down an endless series of winding steps.
Okay, just door to nowhere. Excellent.
Don't you love
Yep.
a door to nowhere?
I always love a door to nowhere. It's very nowhere-y.
Cool.
She saw. She
No.
saw.
The Teddy Bear Paladin. Scepter knows it doesn't have any fingers. It's just an asshole.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Which way is south? You'll know in time, said the scepter. Fucking hell.
Oh my god.
God damn it.
You're absolutely right, that's what it would say.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. She saw, or did she imagine it? Hideous monsters in the gloom of the cavern beneath the sands. Kylie's slitted yellow eye seemed to follow them, and a single red-veined eye floated above them like a poisonous moon. The shadow unicorns also joined them, silent except for the strike of their iron hooves against the rocks. But the shifter's forces didn't attack. If it were they, and not mere illusions. So just randomly seeing the enemy.
Nebulously threatening tunnel.
Yep.
Great.
I don't appreciate nebulously threatening tunnels. Far less interesting than doors to nowhere, personally.
Yes.
Yeah.
How the heck did I say
So-
that with a straight face?
So they come out the other end, and tumbled out of the cavern onto a high plateau. They climb a mountain. There's water that turns into snow that turns into a blizzard. They cross the mountain and go down it. And then there's no snow. And then the sun rises. Look, Finn, the shore of the Sixth Sea. And there, see it? That beautiful green ship with the creamy sails? That's the Dawnwalker. Finn was panting heavily. He wiped his nose with his shirt sleeve and stood beside her looking down. That's good news? He asked doubtfully. I mean, can we trust this? What if it's just more of the shifter's work? I kind of do like that Finn is very skeptical because as a kid, it felt like the journey was so long to get there. And I would actually really like it if they had like a whole bunch of adventures where it was just the two of them and it felt like it was them against the world. And then finally they make it back to their other companions and Finn is just like, are we sure that we could trust them?
Right.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, we just skipped over an entire adventure all its own. Crossing a freaking mountain isn't something small.
I mean, we already got through the two big trials that were being hyped up, so...
Yeah, and that's over.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can go back and kill Moloth.
just shoot just use the scepter like the Keyblade beam. Just fucking end them.
So here's another stupid line. Lincoln and Toby, Chase said, and Lori is with them. Milady, we are indeed safe. Yeah, she didn't doubt that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also, what the fuck is safe about them? One is a dog, one is useless, and one is the best boy, but he's still just another unicorn. I don't know what exactly makes it any safer than before.
Yeah. And then they finally reunite with their friends, and the reunion was joyous. Lincoln ran around the deck of the Dawnwalker in circles until he flopped in exhaustion at Ares' feet. Captain Treadwell... Yeah, that's cute. Captain Treadwell shook Ares' hand so long that she thought she'd get blisters. Toby greeted Chase and Rednall with 3 loud cheers. Lori danced around the deck and didn't ask once about getting back to Glacier River. The celebration lasted until they were well under sail, headed toward the port of Sixton and home.
Lori just absolutely... Why are you here, Lori?
She disappeared as a character.
She vanished?
The sad part about it.
Is this like... We're seeing her vanish as a character now? Is this the start?
No, not really. She will have other appearances in the books down the line.
Okay.
Toby, Aerie, Chase, and Lincoln stood in the prow of the Dawnwalker, watching the waves slap the sides of the sturdy ship. Finn and Rednall stood a little way from them. The boy leaned comfortably against the unicorn's side, arms folded across his chest. Lori was talking happily to them both, but especially to Finn. Finn's gotten very fond of Rednall, Aerie observed. And Lori of Finn, Toby said in his usual blunt manner. Aerie laughed. Finn's nice, and I know that Chase and I wouldn't have been able to win the 2 challenges without him or Rednall. Will Rednall have to go back to the Celestial Valley, Toby? All Celestial Valley unicorn. Sorry, were you going to say something?
No.
Okay, I just heard somebody, inhale, and I was like, oh, they're trying to speak.
Nope.
Sorry.
Oh, no. I just got done coughing, so I inhaled to, get a cough out, but then I muted myself.
Ah, okay. All Celestial Valley unicorns have to go home eventually, Toby said. We'll have to see what Atalanta says. You were telling me that the watching pool has been dark, Aerie said anxiously. She held up the scepter, which she hadn't let out of her sight. Now that the royal scepter is back in Balinor, will the watching pool become clear again? Maybe, maybe not, the carved wooden head said in a maddening way. You are dealing with deep magic here, your royal highness.
Yes, and you're deep magic, so make some fucking sense for once.
At this point, if any of us were Ari, we'd look at it and says, "Give me one good reason why I shouldn't throw you over the edge into the ocean right now."
Yeah, I was about to say, this should be called deep magic. I feel like it's only about as deep because the answers are really shallow.
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm just now. They're also Lori is just fine with Finn out of fucking nowhere. She's never talked to him before, but now they're chatting it up.
Well, he is a cute boy.
I would like to hear that conversation, because what the fuck does Lori have in common with this kid?
Who knows? But
More
he's
teddy
cute.
bear
She's
paladin.
scared.
BRB.
EAS, General Samlet escaped with his life, but the retreat was a disaster as Officer Corps mauled on the road back to Stuffington, and so a small force driving him back cost him his post.
damn.
Damn.
Contrary little thing. Sorry?
I was gonna say, then Toby starts saying something that he shouldn't, like an admiration. What do you mean admiration, Toby? You're supposed to be better than this.
No, it's because he likes the fact that it's being a little shit because he's also a little shit.
I explained that, but
Contrary little thing, Toby said in admiration. What about it? Will the Dream Speaker be able to watch in the pool again? Yes, the scepter said. Her Royal Highness and His Majesty passed the trial by fire and the ordeal by moonlight. So yes, the balance of magic has been restored. You just said maybe or maybe not, and now you're saying yes.
It
Make up
literally
your mind.
is as consistent as a Magic 8-Ball.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, will this bullshit stop the fall?
Maybe, maybe not. Maybe some
Maybe
third
go
option.
Maybe go fuck yourself, Magic Mirror.
You have 3 options. I could go fuck myself. You could fuck me. Or we could go fuck each other. Wait, those last 2 are the same.
Hold up.
Does that mean that I will not be able to visit the Celestial Valley again? Lincoln asked in a wistful way. He nudged his nose against Aerie's side. I wish you had been there, Aerie. The Dream Speaker was most gracious. I mean, she allowed Toby and me to return to Balinor to meet you here again. But she didn't say I couldn't return. The Celestial Valley is the most beautiful place that you can imagine. Aerie faced the wind. Her bronze hair trailed behind her. Chase was a reassuring presence at her back. We are headed toward the most beautiful place, Link. We're headed home to Balinor.
That'll drop.
And that is the end of the book.
Yep.
Oh. Well,
Hey, I'm back.
we just finished.
See, I'm right on time.
Yeah, that was certainly a book.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I can see why this is the best one, definitely. Mainly because it is the one that's actually a mixed bag, whereas the others are just a trash bag.
How much of a decline is it from this point forward?
Ooh, let me see. Is it the... I think it's the 5th book that's the Search for the Star. That's basically a filler episode.
Oh,
yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, it's functionally just a filler episode of a book.
Yep.
Fuck.
I mean, to be fair, so was this. Technically speaking, like, the whole like, oh, you brought the scepter out and now you have to complete 2 trials is like, okay, not really progressing the main quest now. We're just going off on a side story.
I mean, to be fair to these, and this is me batting for my personal favorite book in the series. She did have to do this to restore balance of magic, and like this wasn't a side quest. This was very much the main quest before the main quest. So, very, very useful.
Yeah.
That being said, though, wow, it only took until half the book for it to get remotely interesting.
Yeah, that was
for
also.
real.
I mean, it's just a horrible thing. So I'm expecting the next
And
half
if anything,
to be boring.
compared to the other books, the beginning half of it was even more of a slog than usual. Maybe I'm just saying that because, like, oh, it's been a while and all that, but it's like it felt like it was even more of a slog than usual.
Or what are we talking about? Are we talking Naruto filler or Bleach filler?
Yes.
Ooh, good question there.
Last
Yeah.
Teddy Bear Paladin, Teddy Scholar. When dawn rose and smoke cleared, the fact that our numbers have been crippled at the fort couldn't be ignored. They wouldn't fall for the same trick twice, and morale was in the gutter.
Ooh.
Dun, dun.
Ending on a cliffhanger.
All right, leave him wanting. Alrighty, but yeah, I mean, Finn is just the MVP of this book. I think we can all agree on that.
He is.
Yeah.
Finn is such a delightful character. He really makes the rest of the series more enjoyable by being there.
Yeah, it is.
Look, by the
God.
I was gonna say by the time that this series ended prematurely at that, Toby and Finn were carrying the entire series on their back, and holy hell, their backs were breaking by the end.
Yeah, no surprise.
It can't be a clone trooper, Sean. He has red hair.
Also, Finn wasn't a clone. Finn was a stormtrooper.
Yeah, the stormtroopers aren't clones. We gotta remember that.
Oh, but yeah, and this had peaks. There were actual peaks in this that weren't horrifyingly low.
We found legit peaks.
Yeah, I think it's maybe.
I still don't know how the fucking diving thing was supposed to work. She just found a mermaid and almost drowned. That was basically and fought an octopus.
Yeah.
100%.
So you got maybe like the description was vivid, but you got maybe 1.5 for the 2 action sequences.
Yeah. Well, like, I'm pretty sure that the reason why the trial by moonlight kind of fell flat was because it had nothing to do with horses, so...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that too.
It was, like, Fire was horse races, which, not bad, and the other one was a swimming competition?
Yep.
I think so. I think a part of it is also just because the way that descriptions were written, or at least I got the impression of, like during the swimming thing, was the imagery was a lot less vivid to me.
It was a lot more nebulous.
Less vivid, but just a little, just slightly. And the way that action moved from one section to the other didn't feel as fluid, which is ironic because they're underwater.
Well, at least the action sequence was better than directed by Michael Bay.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Michael Bay probably would have handled this better. Not the most better. Like, you could definitely get better than Michael Bay, but that man has a talent for at least camera positioning.
I'm as much slop as it is, I will still defend to this day the first the Transformer movies that he did. That is actually a pretty solid movie.
Yeah, it's a decent film.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And if we're just talking about the action scenes, I mean, the first 2 movies' action scenes are pretty.
I am below the robot scrotum.
That
oh
is
my
not
god!
okay. So look, the only good thing from the Revenge of the Fallen was the forest fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was mainly talking about that one. Where fucking Optimus is 1v3ing the Decepticons, and yeah.
Still has one of the better lines that I've heard from Optimus overall. Just like literally just, what's wrong with one human life? You'll never stop at one.
Yep.
God, that fucking awful cover.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it. I want all of you to look at it.
Look at it!
All right. Well, let us wrap it down here. Does anyone have anything they want to advertise?
Nope.
In my case, nothing immediate. I may think about, doing another stream of Kaiser versus the World, because I know it's been a while since I've done that. And I want to have that. I want to try to have that be a much more regular thing. But definitely more than like I'll have it. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna be doing it on Sunday. So I'll make an announcement on my community post. But otherwise, newest video about responding to Comfy Lilin and his takes on power scaling and Freerun. I believe the video's at like 16K views so far, which is good, but I know we can get a little higher. So watch if you haven't, like if you haven't, and share if you haven't.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Work and other things, but I've been helping out Pete with a few of his projects here and there. Nothing too substantial, but he's got some good work. So check out Periodic Pete. He's got some stuff coming down the pipeline.
Awesome.
And I'm still waiting for my replacement screen to come in. It was supposed to come in like last week. I don't know what's going on.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can't really do much until that, because like you've heard me struggling reading, I still have to use the TV to do everything. And with reading so far away from my eyeballs, it's just difficult.
Completely understandable.
Jesus.
Hopefully that gets resolved quickly.
Yeah.
On my end, of course, Fixing Ruby Volume 7 starting to air, I believe it's next Friday. I've already got Episode 1 completely in the tank. There's a few cleanup things. I'm working on Episode 2, and that's been pulling teeth because a lot of the heavy artist help is on later episodes, because there's more and more, as a season progresses, there's more and more big moments that need to get covered. And so I've been covering things on my end, and there is a good chunk of episode 2 where it's like 12 characters in a room talking to each other. And I'm using popsicle sticks to try and make that interesting. I was suffering. I'm through that, but my God, that was deadly to me.
Yeah, I can believe that.
But yeah, look forward to that. Obviously, because so much focus is on Fixing Ruby, bit of a chill on doing any of the editing for My Hero. It's kind of where it's been, so that video won't be for a while, sadly. Babylon episode 11 writers be like. But yeah, no, thank you all so much for watching. Tune in on Friday for Bad Fan Fiction Night. And that's about it. Catch you all on the flip side.